Okay, it's footy time, but we're not allowed to stream it. So, to hear today's AFL action, use your FM radio or stand by for some cool tunes.
Fletcher caught in a gang tackle. Whose free kick it is? Is it Braden Campbell and James Jordan both got him? It goes to the left foot of Campbell.
Yeah, so Campbell with a footy, left half back. Just backward of centre wing, western side. Scoots away now, drives that left peg into the footy and delivers it beautifully to Amati. Amati turns, hits the grass like a panther, drives it long. Heaney got a fair bit of it, couldn't complete the mark, and touch play on's the call. So Brisbane just get it outside defensive 50, but Sydney win it again. Grundy, Florent pushing forward to 55, chipping ball to the dangerous spot, and guess who? Corey Warner, the offside winger, marks 40 out directly in front, City end.
He's just finding good space inside forward 50. Corey Warner pushes in from that far wing, as you mentioned, Snapper. But I love the just set up from Florent there. He just saw the option out the corner of his eyes how to put it to a dangerous position as he cut back inboard on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay.
So he kicked the first 2 goals of the game, Corey Warner. A chance for his third, 1 minute into the second term, to the City end. No real angle about it. He launches towards goal. I think he's pushed it wide. He has. So margin stands at 16 points. 4-1-25 Sydney, 139 Brisbane. Bob Jane T March, Justin Edwards.
Kai Lohmann has re-emerged from the Brisbane rooms. It's crutches and a moon boot for Lohmann, so it looks to be a rather serious ankle injury.
Yeah, when you look at the Harvey Norman replay, it didn't seem to be a lot in it. So just an awkward fall for Kai Lohmann, who was tackled as the kick-in goes to McInerney, has it fisted away by Brodie Grundy. He's been a little fumbly as well, the Big O. How's he going on the Red Z lending stats? He wasn't there on grand final day, of course.
He's had the 6 disposals, but he's been pretty influential around the stoppages. He's also had 2 hit-outs to advantage and 7 hit-outs.
Red Z lending, loans for the self-employed, REDZED.com.
Heaney, lovely ruck work, but his kick wasn't great. Answorth tidies up. He's gone here. He took on the tackler, gets gobbled up, and the free kick going the way of the Swans. And Braden Campbell, his tackling has been a feature. Second time he's been rewarded in 2 minutes, Jude.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's in front half for. That heat that he's got to apply to the defensive half of the opposition. He was able to just hunt down Answorth there. Didn't give up on the chase and just watch the hips. Outstanding tackle.
Contrary to earlier reports, Braden Campbell kicked the first goal of the game, and then Corey Warner backed it up with 2 goals in that first quarter. So here's a chance for Braden Campbell to kick the first goal of the second quarter, just like he did the first.
Nice work, Speedy. There's your Amy Clanger right there.
Campbell. Oh, he's a deadly shot at goal. From the wrong side for a left footer on the boundary line. He just pokes it through drop punch style when many would go around the corner, and he makes it 5-1-31. The Swans a 22-point lead on the Triple M Bunnings Trade scoreboard. Load up on landscaping at Bunnings Trade.
Well, this could be a real weapon this year for Dean Cox. In terms of just having more time in the front half with Braden Campbell. You know he's got the deadly left foot, as you mentioned, Speedy. But if you've got that willingness to chase and tackle, you've got that hunt. That's such a valuable proposition for your team, and just adds so much value.
Is he going to wear the zinc cream every week now because he's having some kind of game? He's got the zinc cream scrubbed across the face like he's playing cricket during the heat of January.
Well, it did feel like day one of the test here. It's so hot at the SCG.
So Campbell with a couple, Corey Warner with a couple, Jake Lloyd the other goal kicker, and Darcy Fort, the only goal for Brisbane thus far. They're 139 Sydney, 5-1-31 for McDonald's and Ream Hotwater. Triple M Rocks footy. They escape this time the lines, pushing it forward. Zach Bailey scoots through 50, slices to 45 and misses, just pushes it a little wide, just hurried the kick a little. So margin stands 21 points, 1 goal for 10 Brisbane, 5-1-31 Sydney. Triple M Bunnings Trade scoreboard.
There was another drop mark from the Lions that led to that opportunity, ironically, for Bailey, but they've been so fumbly today, Jude.
Yeah, there's whether it's a bit of sweat on the ball from the amount of heat and perspiration out there, but they've dropped it, they've grasped handballs.
Swans are clean here. Heaney went to Grundy. Handball goes back to the champ. Isaac Heaney, lovely looking drop punt. Oh, second effort by Hayward over the top, not paid the mark. Florence soccers it inside forward 50. Another fumble by the Lions and then cough it up to Campbell. Immediately set upon by Answorth, and it's across the boundary line, about 10 metres into the attacking 50 for the Swans, who lead by 21 points.
I've loved the hunt from Sydney in defence all over the ground thus far, Stu.
Yeah, +5 in tackling across the ground on the Triple M Red Z lending stats, but it's just evident from here they're really up in the face of the Brisbane Lions.
That's Stu Bolton for Seabus Super this afternoon. So McCluggage wins it front and square from the ruck, contested half-back for the Lions, drives it towards centre wing. Archie caught in a good tackle. He held on too long, did he, Grundy? So free kicks going to Archie. Hasn't had a big say as yet, but as we know, is a very dangerous forward. He's got this free kick just backward of centre wing western side. 21 points the diff to Sydney, and that's not his best effort. He's kicked it out of bounds on the full. Joel Hamling will take the free kick just backward centre wing for the Swans,
who lead by 21 points on the Triple M Bunnings trade scoreboard. We do it for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocking the footy. Hamling goes long down the line in his Swans debut, looking for Amadi, who gets it back from Lloyd. Little kick around the corner comes from Jordan, and that mark taken by Hayward protected the drop of the footy beautifully there ahead of Leicester, and will take it just forward of centre wing for the Swans.
Heaney's taken McCluggage deep.
And Hayward just runs around the man on the mark and goes to a Brisbane Lion. Not sure who he was trying to find there. Will Hayward easily picked off, intercept mark style from the Lions, and Jared Berry goes backwards to go forward here for the reigning premiers.
So he's got Wilmot in support, and now McCluggage. They've worked it to the eastern side. McCluggage goes quickly. He's picked out Dunkley, and he's beautiful over his head. Sweeps the handball to Berry. A forward handball still. They've worked it to McKenna now. McKenna about 60 from home. Chipping ball, long work. Hipwood couldn't mark. Archie at the back.
He's backheeled that through.
And it's a goal, I think, is it?
Archie. He backheeled
Archie,
it accidentally.
Off the back of his boot. So Archie will get Brisbane second. They're 4-2-16. Sydney are 5-1-31 on the Triple M Bunnings trade scoreboard.
Well, they got the overlap there, the Brisbane Lions, and in the end, it just all of the Swans defenders had to fold towards the football. As we watched the Triple M Harvey Norman replay, he was just trying to pick the ball up, Archie, and it hit his back heel, and he put the two fingers up and claimed it. I don't think he can claim that, Speedy, but I'll give it to him. He's a great man, Cal Archie, on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay.
It is dead set like a Zidane turn or something from the football world, the soccer world, isn't it? That goal from Callum Archie on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay. Go Harvey Norman, up to 20% off Acer and Lenovo computers in store and online now. Harvey Norman, best range, best brands, best prices guaranteed. It's the sort of thing you see from Charlie Cameron up forward, some freakish kind of goals, and this time it's provided by Callum Archie.
So one goal each to start this second term for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks footy, errant bounce. So they'll reset this one. They hand the footy back to the umpire. McInerney will do battle with Grundy in the middle.
That's umpire Brendan Hosking.
Yeah, terrific. Ball elevates. Grundy wins it forward. Tracking it is Neil. Neil pushes it in the path of McCluggage. Did really well. Went round the body. Did Berry. Grundy with a fumble at half back. Patton has to go back and collect the footy and cop the heat. They're on the march here, the Lions. They're pressing hard. Spits out towards Patton. He can't handle it. Comes to Ashcroft. Ashcroft back to Zach Bailey. Is that holding the footy? I think it is. Terrific tackle, Wicks. And he's rewarded at half-back is Sam Wicks for the Swans.
That's what he was being brought into the side in that defensive role. Sam Wicks, he was terrific on Nick Watson last week.
Another overhead mark dropped by Heaney this time opens the door for the Lions. We are seeing a lot of ball dropped. We saw Grundy a moment ago set himself at gully saying, I've got an easy catch here, and it just burst through the fingers.
Yeah, I think the sun starting to set on that over the Western Grandstand.
It's not the sun, Snapper.
I'm an optimist.
A what? You're a what?
I'll get back to that.
An optimist?
That's the one. Comes to the back with Starcevic. Starcevic can mop it up here for the Lions. And that is an ambitious kick. He wanted Ashcroft. Ashcroft goes off the ground. It should be cut off by Rampy. Rampy left it behind. Spills back to Ashcroft. A little chipping ball inside 50. Coming up to meet it is Melican. Did really well. Kept his feet, the big Swan. He's got Rampy. and then back to Wicks as they exit forward 50.
Goes to a one-on-one. Campbell took his eyes off the footy. Starcevic tracked it, takes the intercept mark, and immediately goes inboard to Zorko. His kick to Ashcroft. Set him up with a tackle to come from Warner, who went high on Levi Ashcroft. He combined with his brother a moment ago, Will Ashcroft, and there's a lot more of that to come, Brisbane Lions fans. These two father-son picks who would have been number one picks in the draft if not for going father-son style. So Hamling tidies up for the Swans. Intercept possession for him. Goes to Lloyd. Risky kick. Takes it on. Goes back in towards the corridor. McInerney takes the mark. Could have gone via hands to Warner, but instead tries to swing it across. And it's a good kick as well. Finds his man. Lace out Jordan. Quick hands to Patton. His penetrating kick goes deep. Andrews favoured by it. Comes over the top and just whacks it across the boundary line. Stoppage coming up deep inside forward 50 for the Swans, who lead by 15 points on that Triple M Bunnings Trade scoreboard.
Andrews just covered some ground there and put the fist through it, but Swans really good switch of play just to open that up and transfer from end to end.
And one of the best at it, isn't he? Harris Andrews, an appetite for destruction. So Warner tries to burst his way through that hole in the footy. Surely
should have been.
Comes to Oscar McInerney. He drives it out of D50, but it's straight to the Swans. And Rampy holds it up on centre wing. Well, he goes to Blakey. Blakey fumbled it. Archie sweats on him. Gives it off a quick little give. That was Bailey scooting through. Bailey drives it towards goal. And Bailey gets another one for Brisbane.
The Lizard
so
lamenting
something out of nothing there. A mistake by Sydney drew the heat towards, and Zach Bailey finished with style. 3-4-22 Lions. Sydney 5-1-31 on the Triple M Bunnings Trade scoreboard.
In these sort of greasy conditions where the sweat's on there, you've just got to make sure you execute your skills and also just watch it into your hands. He double-handled that, Nick Blakey, and then the Brisbane Lions just swooped. It was outstanding from Zach Bailey, who was just eyes up, ready to pounce on the back of that. Wonderful work from Cal Archie to give him the opportunity. A terrific finish on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay.
The ball was kicked to the Lizard. It was floating a little bit, but take a chest mark. Take a chest mark, take your time. The umpire will blow the whistle. You get to go back over the mark. He tried to take it with hands like crocodile hands or something like that.
They're only little hands, those.
What's he doing, the Lizard? Back in the middle, 9-point game. Could be a turning point in the contest. Lions hanging in there, but now the Chad bursts out of the centre, straightens up, and cancels out that goal in a matter of seconds. Oh, the Chad, who's been quiet until now, with the signature moment at the SCG. They need to get him to sign on that dotted line quick smart like his brother Gorey, because that's what he is capable of doing. Makes it 6-1-37 to 3-4-22 in favour of the Swans on that Triple M Bunnings Trade scoreboard.
This is the way you inject yourself into the game. He had a quiet first term, as you mentioned, Speedy, and Dunkley's had a bit of his measure around the stoppages, but I tell you what, once Isaac Heaney was given the free kick, he was the one who was creating the play through the stoppage or the centre bounce. But Chad Warner just hit onto the loose ball and then broke through, had clear grass to straighten up.
Just can't let him burst through stoppages like that. Opposition need to shut him down. And don't forget, we'll be checking in with Cat Ollie Dempsey at halftime. 15 disposals, 2 goals in their 78-point win over Freo earlier today. So the Swans get one back. Margin spans at 15 points. Middle stages, a second term. Brisbane go forward again. Zach Bailey did well. Gives it to Ashcroft. Ashcroft bangs it towards goal. McKenna's there with Patton. Patton just uses his body well and sees it out of play in the forward pocket for Brisbane, and they'll throw it in. 13 gone second term. It's the Swans 6-1-37s lead the Lions 3-4-22.
Some Triple M C-Bus super special comments coming from Jude Bolton this afternoon as the boundary umpire tosses it in. Amadi in the ruck against Hipwood. Oh, Levi Ashcroft thought he had his big moment on debut. He was starting the celebrations, but then it was a minor score. Did it hit the post, Jude?
It did. It hit the post, but he cut through beautifully through that stoppage, and with the congestion was able to still get boot to ball. Unbelievable effort.
The margin trimmed to 14 points.
Jude Bolton, C-Bus Super, making hard work pay off since 1984. So Blakey, the Lizard, just chips one about 25 yards to McInerney. So still inside defensive 50. Randwick into the ground. He's got Wicks to run for him. He ignores him, drives it wide towards Haywood. Haywood can't mark. Just trying to crash his way through was Fletcher. Keeps the ball running forward. And they get it to forward 50 western side, the Lions, and we'll get another throw in. They're 3-5-23. Sydney 6-1-37 with 2 goals apiece in this second term.
McCluggage up to 13 disposals. Blakey's had 12 thus far in the game.
So the boundary umpire to toss it in here. Approaching the midway point of this second term. Fort's kick, partially smothered, will go back across the boundary line and almost exactly the same point where the boundary umpire tossed it in, with the Swans leading by 14 points, but it feels like a much closer game now, this grand final rematch.
Yeah, it took them a while to get started, the Lions, but sort of in step now, you could imagine. So the ball spins back into play in front of the Churchill stand. Marty works his way to the front, drops it in the path of Rowbottom. He could have caught one high, but no, so the umpire, Will Ashcroft, on top of him, will get a ball up. 55 out.
He took his Alice band off there, Will Ashcroft, and then apologised to Rowbottom for knocking the Alice band off.
Well,
modern day footy right there.
Yeah, pleases and thank yous. Who would have thought? So they go inside again, and McCluggage has got it on the boundary line. Lloyd tracks him. Lloyd wins the footy. A slick little handball invites the heat to Heaney's there. Now Rampy. They can escape up the middle. Driving ball towards half forward. Warner's there holding. And it'll be a free kick to Darcy Wilmot at half back for the Lions.
He did well to stand his ground there, Wilmot.
Outstanding.
Strong in the contest. Against Warner, one out. Now the Lions going the other way. A fumble by Rayner. Had time to tidy up. Sets up a running shot on the fly. And it's a big miss from Wilmot. So kick from right on the arc in a central area. Another minus score. They're kicking poorly here to the Lions. 3-6-24, trailing the Swans 6-1-37.
So Blakey ambles away. It's not a great exit kick. Corey Warner's under the pump, goes to Ollie Florent, and he'll chip it wide to Chad Warner. Now he fumbles. So I'm sure they're looking back into the sun, and that is holding the footy. It'll be a free kick to the Lions.
The pressure's been outstanding from Brisbane, though. They've really cranked it up. They're creating opportunities. They've got to capitalise.
Do we need a red Sherrin out there instead of the yellow Sherrins? Are they more slippery, Jude?
So he squares the footy to Zorko. Zorko's on the point of the square, looks up, drives it into the pocket. Dunkley. Did Dunkley bring it down? No, said the umpire. Hipwood's there, a chance, throws the footy away. Rampy, quick give, and they're out now, the Swans. Heaney slices through half back, delivers wide, and McCartan doesn't let him down.
Took the chest mark, didn't he, Speedy? That's what you need.
He's got big mitts too. There's Tommy McCartan, doesn't waste any time, goes to another one-on-one, but Andrews makes it 2-on-1 and fists it into row G on the fly. Big Harris Andrews, who often leads the AFL in 1%ers. Have you got that little stat for Reds End Lending Stats, so you don't bother with the 1%ers, dude? You're a 1%er, man.
Oh, he ate 1%ers every day. Did our man on Super Special Comics this afternoon, 325 in red and whites. So ball spins back into play. Half forward for the Swans. Eastern side. Papley's been quiet this afternoon. Lux a fortune, spills to Heaney. Heaney a little darting one into the pocket. And it misses Papley's chest and goes out of play.
Stand by for the Triple M Harvey Norman replay of this Falcon that Jared Berry just received at close range. The kick travelled about 2 metres and gave him a Mike Tyson-like uppercut. Surely we'll see a replay of that at some stage for Harvey Norman as the boundary umpire tosses it in and clean. In fact, a drop by Fletcher and the smother by the Swans, whose forward pressure has been a lead in this contest. They lock it inside forward 50 and they get around James Rowbottom, who provided that smother.
A full diving smother on Triple M Harvey Norman replay from James Rowbottom. Brings the hardness week in, week out.
Desperation, exceptional from the Swans, number 8.
Look at the Triple M Reds Ed Lending stat of the Swans have 8 smothers to 1.
6-1 to 3-6. So comes to the back. Florent a chance, but it eludes him. There's Ashcroft over the footy. That's Levi. Spits out to a little kick forward that came from Darcy Fort towards centre wing. Payne couldn't mark. Blakey's there, a chance. A little handball forward to Florent. Goes back to Amati. Amati a little chip forward. That was smothered. Ashcroft, Levi. Was that pushed in the back? Yes, it was. And he slipped a little handball to his brother in Will, and he'll get the free kick off half-back.
Goes back to Levi. His handball goes underground. Further afield. Good tackle laid again by the Swans. High contact spotted by umpire Roseberry. And McCluggage played on to go underground. Past a couple of Swans to Logan Morris, who tidies up, wheels around and pumps it inside forward 50. Off hands Bailey. Can he be clean? Yes, he can. And Zach Bailey goes bang. If you're a clean player on this afternoon, you're going to have some joy. He's got 2 goals now and tightens things up on that scoreboard again. 4-6-30 now. The Lions trail by just 7 points. The Swans 6-1-37 on the Triple M Bunnings Trade scoreboard.
It wasn't pretty from Brisbane, just down the far side of the ground, just being able to get over that run, but then the long kick to a really dangerous position. Jake Lloyd, just one arm. Zach Bailey was able to just go straight through that tackle and kick another goal. He was terrific there.
He's a class player, Zach Bailey. Just needs half a chance. Bodylined the ball, forced the issue. A little round the body ball to the Randwick end as the Lions 4th. So they trail it by 7 points, the reigning premiers. They've kicked 3 goals to 2 in this second term. 21 minutes played. Second term. It's thanks to McDonald's and Ream Hot Water Triple M Rocks Footy. Don't forget Ream Hot Water. If you're looking for a hot water system built tough for Aussie conditions, when it comes to water heating, ask your plumber to install a Ream.
Another partial smother by the Swans allows Heaney to tidy up and go forward. His kick, though, easy pickings for Darcy Wilmot, who just floated in. Plays on quickly. Half volleyed by Dunkley. That kick from Wilmot, so he sets it up inside forward 50. Falls about 5 metres in, tapped on by Fort. Socket out of there by Melican, who leads this game in sockers, I reckon. Dunkley gets in and under. His paddle on the outside to Fletcher. Lace out, if you don't mind. Beautiful kick inside forward 50 for Hipwood. On the wrong side from left footer, about 5 metres in from the boundary line. Can he kick this one, Eric?
It's going to be a tight, tough kick here for Eric Hipwood, but I just love the work from Jasper Fletcher there. It needs someone with a bit of class just to lower their eyes and hit a target. There's been some scrappy play, kicks dropping short. It was fantastic.
Everyone trying to stand up inside this depleted forward line. No Danaher, of course. No Charlie Cameron. No Kai Lohman. So Eric Hipwood, one of the stars of the show. Drop punt on the way from that tight angle and work into that near side for a minor score, but they're back within 1 straight kick. And they've had a stack of scoring shots. 4-7-31. They trailed the Swans 6-1-37 on the Triple M Bunnings Trade scoreboard.
So Blakey with the footy. We'll bring it in from fullback, Randwick end. Shadows beginning to lengthen. So he chooses western side. Goes with a low ball. Ainsworth can't get in. Was he pushed? He was. So it'll be a free kick. Noah Ainsworth. Ainsworth. He'll load up again. Put one in the chamber. Delivers it to the forward pocket.
Ainsworth plays for the Suns. Ainsworth plays for the Lions. There's no I there.
Thank you, Speedy. No. We'll get a throw in forward pocket for Brisbane. There's Klanger number 2 or 22. So 22 played, second term.
Speedy's got count of them anyway.
Margin just back to 6 points. Comes to the back Fort, really clever. Puts a handball to a really dangerous place. Comes to McKenna. McKenna has a shot and misses. So under a kick now. Just 5 points. The difference, 4-8. 32 Brisbane, 6-1-37 Sydney.
12 shots on goal, 4-8 this term alone. They've just been peppering the goals.
The Swans slowing things down. Blakey in no hurry to take that kick in. It looks like he'll be forced to go long as well. Goes out to the outer side. Up they go. Nice hands. Heaney floating over the top. He plays on quickly. Hit the ground running. Went to a choice of teammates. It's coming back, Jude.
Yeah, free kick against Heaney or someone else in the pack, but it's going to go to Darcy Wilmot in a really dangerous position. He's about 70 metres out. Numbers have now flooded back for Sydney.
So Wilmot takes that free kick and sets it up top of the goal square. Swans have the numbers at the drop. Grundy gets spoilt. Free kick's been found going which way? Going the way of Brodie Grundy, who had it tapped away, but now takes the free kick. It goes against Archie, and he goes across the face of goal into the pocket for Melican. He'll play on via hands to Wicks with run.
So they advance to the eastern side, and Corey Warner's on the end of it. A precision-like kick. He looks up, drives it towards half forward. Will Haywood makes good positioning. can't complete the mark, goes back in again. Answorth is there. There's Papley. Papley, a little handball forward to Patton, the ex-8. Driving ball to full forward. No one can mark. Waiting down with a little handball was Hamley. Does he keep it in? I don't think he does. He's run out of bounds. And it'll be a throw-in forward pocket for the Swans. Paddington in. They lead at 6-1. The Lions are coming at 4-8, and that happening on the Triple M Bunnings Trade scoreboard.
Good opportunity for Sydney to take their breath with this stoppage inside forward 50. Gets set up behind the footy also to try and lock it in. Played the footy in the front half. It's been dominated by the Brisbane Lions in this quarter in their front half.
So after a long delay, the boundary umpire tosses it in. There were 2 footies on the ground. Free kick's been found here. Plenty going on off the ball. And with a Lion down on the deck, free kick going against Hanley, who thought he was running into goal. Dunkley was bowled over. And what do we see on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay here if the cameras actually happen to find it, Jude?
It was just a real block at the front of the stoppage as they were trying to wrap around, but they just dispatched of Dunkley illegally.
Grundy tried to take the hanger off hands. Lions able to tidy up. Rayner had no one to go to. Ran into a dead end in the end. Good soccer though out in front of Ashcroft. Blakey gets clean bowled. The Lizard knocked over. Ashcroft dropped the footy. Wicks with another tackle. Should be rewarded. It isn't. It's play on for the Swans. And strong tackle by Rayner might have been high. In fact, that's the call. It's coming back for the free kick to Matty Roberts. Bit going on there, and the umpire's letting it roll until eventually they found a free kick.
Non-controlling umpire actually saw the one over the shoulder for Matty Roberts, but it's certainly a holding the ball decision. Should have been paid.
Goes up the line to Rampy. Not 15, play on, he calls. Wow. So Rampy has to backtrack. Beyond centre wing, drives it towards Chad Warner, and he sits in the hole.
He punched him in the knee. He punched the big O in the knee. That's as far as he could reach.
Well, he might have caught one on the way down, but he's up on his feet.
But if you
now.
punch in the knee, it could backfire. That's pretty bony down there.
Yeah, play on.
Your hand
So Chad Warner will gallop away. Looks up, drives a little low one towards half forward. Wilmot in the way. Starcevic involved with a forward handball. They can run now. Rayner's involved. Goes the barrel. Archie. He was in the van. He just couldn't quite bring it down.
Blakey did brilliantly, but at what cost? He's down the Lizard.
Now it comes to Rampy. Patton gets back to Linderhan, and now to Milliken as they choose the eastern side.
Good kick to centre wing. Should be a free kick for front on contact. It is. Then tossed away by the Lions, risking 50. How's the Lizard looking in back play, Jude?
Yeah, he's still down in the hands of the trainers. He went back courageously to get that spoil.
In the meantime, Heaney's kick inside forward 50 has found the mark, and the Swans will get a set shot. Boy, do they need one right now, clinging to a 5-point lead, and it's the second gamer who's going to take the shot here. Hanley.
Blakey to his feet. You can just see on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay, he just sort of lost his balance in the air and landed flat on his back, so he's knocked the wind out of him. They're just checking his ribs, I think, as well.
This could be a team lifter for the Swans, who lead by 5 points. Tom Hanley yet to kick a goal in the big time. One behind for him last week on debut against the Hawks. He comes in to kick from 45 on a 45-degree angle, going across the face of goal. A little minor score. So that lead goes back to one straight kick, 6-2-38. The Swans on top of the Lions, who are 4-8-32.
The Lions with the momentum. Late in this second term, they kicked 3 goals to 2, but they've been peppering towards the Randwick end. They escape D50, driving ball towards McKenna. He can't mark. Ball out of play in front of the old lady stand.
Brody, Darcy, hold the meter.
Late a throw in. The hot conditions in Sydney. Extra time at the breaks, quarter time, half time, and 3/4 time. As players rehydrate, ball spins back into play. Brisbane pressing here. McInerney at the front of the pack. Goes to Matty Roberts via hand. Roberts just dumps it inside forward 50. But that's a good mark taken by Jack Payne on D50.
Triple M C-Bus Super special comments, Jude Bolton. Did you get to grips with why Chad Warner tried to punch Oscar McInerney in the knee a moment ago?
I have no idea why he did that.
Archie, handball back inboard to Answorth, finds a good target in the big O, and he plays on, goes to a one-on-one deep here, in the wrestle, top of the goal square. McKenna, got an extra little nibble by the Swans, no free kick found, and the Swans are out of there. Rampy, penetrating kick to Grundy on the logo, wants to play onto the chat. Chad, who hits the ground running. Handball over the top. Wanted to work a 1-2 with Campbell, who instead goes wider still to McCartan, 60 from home. Amati wants it deep. McCartan goes over the top. You can play on here if you want to. Corey Warner, he goes back over the mark. And he finds another option just inside forward 50 from a tighter angle. Not 15, says the man standing the mark for the Lions, and I reckon he had a case.
This is where you're seeing Jake Lloyd just playing as that winger and just really using his running legs, getting into good positions. Now that they've got Ben Patton playing off half back, he's able to push up the ground and get involved. So he's another chance to have another shot on goal.
So Jake Lloyd, a really good kick to kick them from here. It's a tight angle right in front of the members' stand. For a man who's kicked 42 goals in his AFL career, game number 251 today. Moves in, strikes it, and to the near side, another minor score. So 6-3-39, lead blows out to 7 points for the Swans. Less than 90 seconds of game time until half-time on the Triple M Bunnings Trade scoreboard. Load up on landscaping at Bunnings Trade.
So Leicester has a whistle on play.
Swans free kick, is it?
No, I don't think it is.
I think it is. I think they're celebrating. I think it's going to be a gift goal coming up to the Swans after what happened off the ball.
Where's the forward to claim it? No one's going down there.
Braden Cramble's thinking, I'll go and kick it.
Yeah, Tom.
Who wants it?
Tom doesn't even want to take it.
Somebody for the Swans. You've got a gift goal.
My goodness.
They're waiting for a raffle.
Have some forward wits about you, go, come on.
Much confusion in the forward 50.
I played in the forward line where 5 blokes would be just clamouring over.
Like seagulls over a hot chip. Give me the footy right now. So McCartan's going to be walked to the goal line. He just ambles in and kicks the goal for Sydney now. We'll have to go to Harvey Norman to have a look at what happened there exactly. But Sydney, they push the lead out to 13 points, 7-3-45. They lead the Lions 4-8-32, Triple M Bunnings Trade scoreboard.
So I think Tom McCartan, was standing on the mark, but the free kick was actually back out at about 40 metres around as one of the Swans had been dropped behind play. But it goes to where the ball was being kicked from, which was down towards Tom. He had no idea that it was his free kick, but at least be on your toes, sniffing around for a goal.
And there must have been a 50-metre penalty afterwards to make the man stand on the line in the end. So McCartan was able to stroll in and kick an easy one for a man playing forward this year, of course, for the Swans. What do we make of that, Jude, the move of Tom McCartan forward?
Look, it's something from Dean Cox in terms of just wanting to be able to, we can see the Triple M Harvey Norman replay players against Harris Andrews on Ollie Florent.
Did he fling out an elbow? The umpire must have seen it on that angle. Anyway, back in the middle. Final minute of this second quarter being played. A handy goal for the Swans.
But just on McCartan, Dean Cox wanted far more of a contest in the front half. It just been bouncing out there too easy in his eyes.
So secondary stoppage. Heaney was clean, reefed it away, found Florent, who stepped back against the grain cleverly. Oh, sells some candy. Goes to McInerney. Could have gone back to Heaney. Probably should have done, but he saw a better option and dropped mark by Hanley. Still has a chance to tidy up and fends off Berry. Now it's across the boundary line as he went to Papley at close range. Should have been having a set shot right now for Bob Dane T-Marts. Justin Edwards.
About 7 or 8 minutes ago, Dean Cox made the move down to the boundary line. So coaching from the bench for the first time in his very short tenure as Swans coach. Spent the first quarter and a half in the box.
So Sydney in attack here. Grundy works his way to the front. McInerney reaches over, spills to Chad Warner around the body, but Berry in good position. And he marks on the fullback line. So he points far and wide to the eastern side. He says, I'm going that way, boys, so get there. He drives the right peg into the back of the footy. It goes wide, and Blakey stands really tall. And he marks the footy, jams it back into Chad Warner. It bounces off his chest. They can attack again here, the Lions.
The siren about to sound. Warner could have had a set shot after the siren, but dropped that mark. And instead, they'll head to the sheds with a 13-point lead here. The Sydney Swans at halftime in the grand final rematch. A handy late goal after ill discipline by Harris Andrews led to a gift major for Tom McCartan. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks the footy, and the Swans lead by 13 points.
That quarter for Bunnings Trade. Load up on landscaping at Bunnings Trade. For Ream Hot Water,
Triple M rocks footy.
Built tough for Aussie conditions. When it comes to water heating, ask your plumber to install a Ream.
Here we go.
It's the Mitsubishi Motors factory clearance, and you're good to go with a $3,000 bonus on Triton models. Plus, score up to $2,000 in customer loyalty bonus. That's up to $5,000 off your driveway price, so you can go adventuring. All backed by Australia's first 10-year warranty with 10 years cap price servicing. You're good to go with Mitsubishi. T's and C's apply. Visit the Mitsubishi Motors website for details.
She thought it was true love. He looked at her. Handsome. Nice watch. Then he just started firing questions. How much do you earn? What are your assets? Why do you need my money? It was then she realised he was a bank and would never understand her business. Red Z knows when you need a loan, you need someone that understands the self-employed. With love from Red Z. Speak to your broker or visit redz.com. Red Z. Backing those who back themselves. Australian credit licence 311128.
Yeah, it's been a long week. Now, it's finally time to put your feet up and watch your team work hard to bring home the win. Seabus Super is on your team too, working hard to provide strong, long-term returns for after the final whistle. Seabus Super, making hard work pay off. Read the PDS and TND to decide if Seabus is right for you. Past performance is not a reliable indicator of future performance.
Hi, Rodney Jane here. Pocket even more savings at Bob Jane T-Marts. We've got Bridgestone free, Yokohama free, Kumho free. How? Simply buy 3 and the 4th tyres free. Get up to $150 instant cashback on selected Pirelli and Bridgestone tyres. Plus receive an e-gift card up to $150 when you buy 4 selected BF Goodrich tyres. Give us a call or shop online today. At Bob Jane T-Marts, we'll look after you. T's and C's apply.
Go Harvey Norman for the hottest deals on the best brands in tech. Right now, up to 20% off Lenovo and Acer computers, like the Acer Aspire Go, now below $348, save $150. Or save $230 on the Core i5 Acer Aspire Go, now $668. Get in quick and grab a bargain on powerful Lenovo IdeaPad with 16 gig RAM and 1 terabyte storage, now $998 while stocks last. Harvey Norman, best brands, best range, best prices guaranteed. Conditions apply.
Here we go.
It's the Mitsubishi Motors factory clearance, and you're good to go with a $3,000 bonus on Triton models. Plus, score up to $2,000 in customer loyalty bonus. That's up to $5,000 off your driveway price, so you can go adventuring. All backed by Australia's first 10-year warranty with 10 years cap price servicing. You're good to go with Mitsubishi. T's and C's apply. Visit the Mitsubishi Motors website for details.
She thought it was true love. He looked at her. Handsome. Nice watch. Then he just started firing questions. How much do you earn? What are your assets? Why do you need my money? It was then she realised he was a bank and would never understand her business. Red Z knows when you need a loan, you need someone that understands the self-employed. With love from Red Z. Speak to your broker or visit redz.com. Red Z. Backing those who back themselves. Australian credit licence 311128.
Sport. Uncover well-kept secrets with Listener's lineup of investigative podcasts. Download the free Listener app and search Uncover.
Hey there, it's Stephen Zoyce with you. Geelong have survived a third quarter scare to romp the Dockers at GMHBA Stadium. The Cats led by as much as 60 points in the second quarter before Freo debutant Murphy Reid snagged 4 goals in a row in the third term, the visitors pegging the margin back to 21.
And not again! They've kicked 4 in a row!
No one's done that!
What the hell is going on?
Unbelievable.
4 in a row, Murphy Reid!
Chris Scott's men, though, running riot in the final stanza, coming away with a 147-69 win. And 2 games tonight in the A-League. The Western Sydney Wanderers playing host to Melbourne Victory, whilst Perth face Brisbane.
The most unbelievable stories you've never heard.
Are you serious?
Sports Bizarre.
I'm quite exhausted.
Download the Listener app to listen for free.
30 degrees at the SCG at half-time between the Swans and Lions as Triple M rocks footy.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
Triple M rocks footy.
This halftime break for Specsavers Audiology. Rediscover the joy of everyday sounds with a Specsavers hearing expert today.
Welcome back to the SCG, a sunbathed SCG. Hot conditions here for Sydney and Brisbane. And the Swans lead it by 13 points at the main break. From McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks football. This is a halftime break for Specsavers Audiology. Specsavers Audiology. Rediscover the joy of everyday sounds with the Specsavers hearing expert today. As I turn to Jude Bolton, our man for Seabus Super this afternoon, and all the stats and your summary of the first half, please, Jude.
Yeah, just thought the Swans were terrific in terms of just getting out of the blocks in the first quarter and put the score on the board. They were able to capitalise and get a little bit of confidence. But the way that the Brisbane Lions dragged themselves back into the contest through their pressure and their ability to keep it in the forward line, I thought they created opportunities. They were just a little bit wasteful in front of goal. The 4 goals, 8, as you mentioned, Snapper. But just around the contest, Sydney have had some really good work from the stoppages. But it's 84 to 68 in terms of contested possession, but the inside 50s are +3 in favour of the Sydney Swans. In terms of the big ball winners, plus 17 disposals for Nick Blakey, number 1 ranked player on the ground, 15 disposals for Josh Dunkley. McCluggage has had 14, as has Isaac Heaney, 13 for Will Ashcroft, 12 for Justin McInerney, along with Rayner and Berry and Levi Ashcroft, 12 in his debut game.
There's a name that you didn't mention there, Lockie Neal. What's he doing?
So Lockie Neal's been tagged by James Jordan. So he had 6 disposals in the first term, 0 in the second term. So he's been wearing him really close, and that's been something we spoke a little bit about. Chad Warner not having too much time in the middle, but also touches in that first opening term. It's because James Jordan has been starting in the centre and really working Lockie Neal over, which has at times forced Chad Warner forward. But he's such a diligent player, James Jordan, and Lockie Neal fought through so hard in that grand final with a sore ankle, and that's where those heroics came to the fore in the grand final.
Snapper, one of my favourite segments is the Amy Clangers. When clangers happen, it's lucky you're with Amy.
Yeah, it is. So it'll be a free kick. Noah Ainsworth.
Ainsworth plays for the Suns. Ainsworth plays for the Lions. There's no I there.
Thank you, Speedy. We'll get a throw in forward pocket for Brisbane. There's clanger number 2 or 22. I guarantee you it won't be my last clanger today.
But when I look down, it actually looks like an I might sneak in there on that team sheet. I can see where you're coming from.
Thanks for backing me up now, but you hung me out to dry earlier. We thank Amy and all our partners for their patronage as we bring you the footy this afternoon. It's the Swans by 13 points here at half time, and we thank Amy. Amongst others, Specsavers Audiology. Well, rediscover the joy of everyday sounds with Specsavers hearing experts today. Jude, a couple of things. Last week the Swans, they really struggled inside forward 50, any presence at all in the air, yet Tom McCartan this afternoon has sort of presented himself pretty well to the footy.
Yeah, I thought he's created some contests in the front half, and that's the expectation from Dean Cox, that he's launching at the footy, as is Joel Amartey, being able to present and give them an option as they come out of the middle and stream down the ground. And they haven't had that previously. And I think it's certainly something that they tried to address, particularly with Logan McDonald out at the moment, is have that front half contest, so bring some of the smalls into the game. And Papley's been lively but hasn't quite hit his straps yet. He looked a little bit proppy, as we discussed, against Hawthorn, but I've really loved the way that the Swans have brought their pressure, and that's been the biggest difference in this. We look at the grand final replay and what's been presented, where the Swans got absolutely dismantled on the biggest stage of all. It was the uncontested marks and the way that Brisbane were able to just cut through them. Today they've only taken 28 marks, and you think of the last day in September, they took 158 marks on the MCG to win by 60 points.
A couple of injury concerns before we get to that interview with Ollie Dempsey for Around the Grounds after Geelong thumped Hawthorn Fremantle this afternoon. Lohman left the ground 7-minute mark of that first term with that ankle injury, and then Logan Morris, of course, with that collision of the 16-minute mark. It's put their forward half into a big...
Yeah, certainly with Lohman going off, you lose that liveliness. It's been forced to be Archie and the like to try and present that spark, and Rayner's pushed forward at different stages, but he's such a lively player. So, but it's good to see Morris back out there. Collision and a bit of friendly fire.
And Connor McKenna, the sub active due to that Kai Loman injury. When you looked at Loman go down, there wasn't a got out of hand in a hurry.
It's not a good look. When they've gone straight downstairs, he took the boot straight off and they wanted to check it out.
Yeah, precautionary, but like you should take the weight straight off it, put it in a boot, get on the crutches, get off it as soon as you can, stick it in the ice for whatever. But we wish him well. For Choice Hotels around the grounds, Choice Hotels, get more for your money so you can check into more. Get the lowest price guaranteed when you book direct with choicehotels.com. And just running you through the results thus far, Speedy, for round one. Could you just read those out?
Thursday night when Carlton led by 40-odd points and Richmond came back to produce the upset. What about the number one draft pick, Lawler? Outstanding for the Tigers, who win by 13 points in the end, 82-69. The mighty Hawks, who came here to win the season opener against the Sydney Swans, backed it up against the Bombers last night with a 26-point victory at the SCG in Friday night footy. And the celebrations, every time they kick a goal, they've got something new up their sleeve. The likes of Marby Orchard and Jack Ginnivan, they're a joy to watch the Hawks.
Are they?
Glory days might be back for the mighty Hawks.
Someone's excited about the Hawks.
Geelong, big winners earlier today against Fremantle. 78 points in the end, and Bailey Smith was running riot. What a signing he could prove to be, the former Bulldog.
And Murphy Reid kicked 4 goals.
Yeah, on debut. That was pretty impressive. And don't go anywhere following this match because we've got a triple treat for you. Collingwood and Port will follow this match from the MCG. Barry Denner, Al Nicholson will lead the team there. Earlier today, our boys caught up with Ollie Dempsey after his 15 disposal, 2-goal game in their 78-point win over Fremantle.
Catching up with the blonde bombshell of the Cats, Ollie Dempsey. Thanks for jumping on Triple M for us.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
Mate, congratulations. First up run after a 4 or 5 month pre-season. How's the body feeling?
Oh, it feels pretty cooked after that, but so happy to get away with the win and a nice win too.
They said during the week the heat policy was going to be activated. Were you at all concerned when you started the game that not as hot as they thought it was going to be?
I think they carried on a bit throughout the week, saying it was 37, and then I woke up this morning like it's cold, so nearly brought up the longie. But no, it was fine in the end. It was good. We prepared, so it was nice.
Bit of an interesting start. You were due to play Brisbane last week. Cyclone Alfred got in the way of that, so an extra week of pre-season. Did that help or hinder the preparation for this game?
Oh, I think we just sort of accepted it. We adapt well, which was nice. So we just sort of adapted to it, and we're happy to play round one at home, which we were really happy about. So to get a win like that was very rewarding.
On a personal note, you had a great year last year, win the Rising Star Award, kick a couple of goals today. Do you feel any added pressure or expectation going into this season?
No, not really. With people like Baz coming in, so they take all the pressure, so it's all fine for me. I'm just cruising up and down the wing and having a bit of fun with it.
I mentioned the blonde bombshell, the hair. Everyone at this football club, apart from a handful, has the blonde locks. What's going on? Is that what the recruiting drive's like?
I think so. I think they just look for surfers, or Baz not a surfer, but he looks like one. But I don't know. They just feel like it's just a thing nowadays down here, so it's pretty funny.
You mentioned Bailey Smith a couple of times. Having him now as a teammate, spending the pre-season with him, what's he done for you personally?
Oh no, he's just his energy and his and just being around him. He works hard. He works really hard, and it's so good learning off that and learning new sort of tactics and stuff around recovery and just working. And he was so good tonight. So good to watch him do that, and not playing footy for a year and a bit is pretty cool to see him dominate like that.
Away from the football club, what's it been like to get to know him? Do you go out on the golf course? Does he come and watch you surf out the ocean?
He doesn't play golf, he doesn't surf, but
does he do anything?
I don't know what he does do, but he's a bit of fun and just sort of staying at his house. He's got a lovely crib down here, and he just sort of cruises around there with his dogs, and we're always hanging out with him, and he's a great fella.
Now, here at Triple M, of course, part of our commentary team, Isaac Smith and Steve Johnson, the two of them, throughout the course of the game, may have mentioned that when you first wandered down here to GMHBA Stadium, you came in a BMW and raised a few eyebrows, Ollie. Tell us about that.
Izzy would be stitching me up, wouldn't he? That sounds about right. But I don't know. They give me a lot of smack about that and about sort of where I grew up, but that's pretty funny. I love it all.
I think the words were somewhat along the lines of your current contract is just loose change in the glove box.
That's what Paddy says all the time. I'm like, man. Anyway, it's pretty funny to hear that. The boys get stuck into me a lot, especially Paddy and Reece Stanley's another one. They love it, so it's pretty funny.
You got a return serve for Izzy. Was there anything that he did?
Nah, I'm just thankfully retired and gave me the wing roll, so probably that one.
Ollie, you recover now at St Kilda next week in round 2. What are you looking forward to against Marvel Stadium next week?
Yeah, I can't wait. Get down at Marvel and just sort of play the same footy we did there and sort of play our way. And Saints are obviously good opposition, so it'll be a good test for us. But can't wait to get down there.
Mate, a couple of goals today. First up win. Congratulations. Good luck for the year.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
What a great chat that was. Joey Pignataro of Triple M Footy chatting to Ollie Dempsey after the Cats' big win over Freo. Back here at the SCG, the Swans with a 13-point halftime lead, 7-3-45 to the Brisbane Lions, 4-8-32 in the grand final rematch. This has been the halftime break for Specsavers Audiology.
That halftime break for Specsavers Audiology. Rediscover the joy of everyday sounds with a Specsavers hearing expert today.
Marine Hot Water and McDonald's.
Triple M rocks footy.
At Bunnings Trade, you can get the win with their huge landscaping range.
Tackle any size job with power garden tools from top brands and get the edge on site with a wide range of lawn and garden supplies.
The team can help you with bulk commercial grade landscaping orders and even arrange delivery to site.
Load up on landscaping at Bunnings Trade.
Yeah, it's been a long week. Now, it's finally time to put your feet up and watch your team work hard to bring home the win. Seabus Super is on your team too, working hard to provide strong long-term returns for after the final whistle. Seabus Super, making hard work pay off. Read the PDS and TND to decide if Seabus is right for you. Past performance is not a reliable indicator of future performance.
Hi, Rodney Jane here. Pocket even more savings at Bob Jane T-Marts. We've got Bridgestone free, Yokohama free, Kumo free. How? Simply buy 3 and the 4th tyres free. Get up to $150 instant cashback on selected Pirelli and Bridgestone tyres. Plus receive an e-gift card up to $150 when you buy 4 selected BF Goodrich tyres. Give us a call or shop online today. At Bob Jane T-Marts, we'll look after you. T's and C's apply.
Go Harvey Norman for the hottest deals on the best brands in tech. Right now, up to 20% off Lenovo and Acer computers, like the Acer Aspire Go, now below $348, save $150. Or save $230 on the Core i5 Acer Aspire Go, now $668. Get in quick and grab a bargain on powerful Lenovo IdeaPad with 16 gig RAM and 1 terabyte storage, now $998 while stocks last. Harvey Norman, best brands, best range, best prices guaranteed. Conditions apply.
Here we go.
It's the Mitsubishi Motors factory clearance, and you're good to go with a $3,000 bonus on Trident models. Plus, score up to $2,000 in customer loyalty bonus. That's up to $5,000 off your driveway price, so you can go adventuring. All backed by Australia's first 10-year warranty with 10 years cap price servicing. You're good to go with Mitsubishi. T's and C's apply. Visit the Mitsubishi Motors website for details.
She thought it was true love. He looked at her. Handsome. Nice watch. Then he just started firing questions. How much do you earn? What are your assets? Why do you need my money? It was then she realised he was a bank and would never understand her business. Red Z knows when you need a loan, you need someone that understands the self-employed. With love from Red Z. Speak to your broker or visit redz.com. Red Z. Backing those who back themselves. Australian credit licence 311128.
Yeah, it's been a long week. Now, it's finally time to put your feet up and watch your team work hard to bring home the win. Seabus Super is on your team too, working hard to provide strong long-term returns for after the final whistle. Seabus Super, making hard work pay off. Read the PDS and TND to decide if Seabus is right for you. Past performance is not a reliable indicator of future performance.
Hi, Rodney Jane here. Pocket even more savings at Bob Jane T-Mart. We've got Bridgestone free, Yokohama free, Kumo free. How? Simply buy 3 and the 4th tyres free. Get up to $150 instant cashback on selected Pirelli and Bridgestone tyres. Plus receive an e-gift card up to $150 when you buy 4 selected BF Goodrich tyres. Give us a call or shop online today. At Bob Jane T-Marts, we'll look after you.
T's and C's apply.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
Triple M Rock Footy.
This quarter for Titanium Caravans. Stay off-road and off-grid for longer with a luxurious Titanium Caravan. Visit titaniumcaravans.com.au.
And for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water Triple M at Rocks Footy. We're underway in the third quarter. So the ball spits out wide and goes out of play, more weight. A throw in. Half forward for the Swans eastern side. If you've just joined us, the Swans by a slender 13 points at the main break. Grundy tries to force a little bit of space between him and McInerney. Rowbottom was clever. Little handball. Lloyd. Can it spit out to Rowbottom? Yes, it can. Or is he caught high? It'll come back. I think a free kick. High contact. You heard it in the umpire's mic.
It's going to go to Rowbottom.
So Rowbottom will take the free kick. What's he, about 60, 65 from home? The Swans attacking the Randwick end in this quarter.
Play on.
Called to play on now. He'll drop it to a dangerous spot for the Flyers, and that one is Amati. And he marks unopposed, 30 out.
He did really well, Joel Amati, because he had Harris Andrews, who had really good positioning. He was sort of standing in between, trying to cut off the lead, but he wrapped right back around the pack and then just led up to the football, and Andrews just lost track of him. So it ended up being an uncontested mark.
So Amati a chance at his first. Hasn't troubled the scorers thus far. To get Sydney off to a flyer in the third term. He keeps it low. Yeah, I think he's just snuck that in from behind. He has. It's the Swans by 14 points from a Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Aggressive kick in by the Lions and a free kick given away by the Swans as McCluggage takes that free kick, and they go right up the corridor here. The Lions trying to chase this game, trailing by 14 points now. Flicked out wide to Starcevic on the logo. Great smother. Hanley in his second game of league footy. Starcevic able to tidy up and go wider still to McKenna, the sub. He floats one inside forward 50. Might just work out for the Lions. Hipwood a chance out the back. Clever tap over the top towards Bailey. He fumbled and then set upon by Rowbottom. Lays a good tackle. Locks it in there. And we'll get a stoppage about 15 out from goal for the Lions, who trail by 14 points on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard. Early stages, third quarter.
What's Rayner here at this forward stoppage?
So Hipwood v Grundy. Grundy sort of controls it towards Florent. He's ripped off it in a good tackle. Comes to Zach Bailey. Underground ball! Zach Bailey! Well, something special for his third, I think, this afternoon. And he went underground with it. And Brisbane have kicked their fifth. They're 5-8-38. Sydney is 7-4-46 on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
What an incredible goal from a tight angle. As we mentioned, it was Rayner initially who went for the hit to, but the ball just spat out towards boundary side on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay. And it just came towards where he just was able to swoop onto the loose ball as he ran with literally no opportunity other than just the tightest of angles. Dribbled amazing goal through.
What about the goalkeeper though? Matty Roberts was the goalkeeper. He was across the far side of the goal instead of getting to the near post like a goalkeeper would in soccer, and he just watched it go across and through the goal. If he's near post, it's not a goal. He's able to rush it through.
Absolutely.
Little 1%er to work on. Back in the middle. Grundy against Mackinnon. He spills out to Jordan. Heaney. Handball on the outside to Wicks, who doubles back around. Goes to Roberts in the corridor. He had to be quick. Just got a legal handball away to Jordan. They mucked around with the Swans, but now Grundy able to sweep it out wide to Heaney, who takes the mark on the logo. Buys some time. Good looking kick. Finds Hanley on the chest. Just outside the arc. He points towards the goals, wants to go early towards McCartan in a one-on-one wrestle. Andrews arrived late, spoiled only as far as Florent from the boundary line. It was a half-hearted shot across the face of goal. Doesn't register. Intercept mark taken by Zorko, who kicks wide. And Zach Bailey said, "Is that kick for me?" It goes over his head and out of bounds for the boundary throw-in.
Ollie Florence had 2-0 shots at goal today, where he's looking for options and then just half decides to have a shot on goal. If you're going to commit, go for it, straighten up and drill it home.
It's an 8-point ball game. Sydney with their noses in front. Throw in forward 50. Comes to Heaney. Has to release the footy. Row bottom. Prizes the footy out towards Lloyd. Cleverly done. Judge Jordan involved. Wicks spits one out to Hanley. He looks up 70 from home. Kicks it to a really dangerous spot. Jack Payne's in the back. Lester's there also. Ollie Florent went off the ground and it misses near side. The margin stands at 9 points. Sydney 7-5-47. Brisbane 5-8-38. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Swans fans going berserk. They thought it was out on the full, but Berry definitely took that inside the boundary line. We've got a perfect vantage point here in the Triple M commentary box. And Berry takes that, plays on, gets the kick smothered by Warner. So ball in dispute, 15 from home. Papley played for a free kick, handed off to Hanley. Two Toms combined, and the umpire was right on the spot, found an angle and says to Papley, "You've thrown the ball there, Tommy." And he said, "Yeah, you got me. You got me."
He was still pleading his case, but absolutely caught red-handed there.
So Wilmot goes to Andrews and they exit to the eastern side, but it'll be cut off. Rampy did well to get a fist in. McKenna bursting up, gains a hand, gives it to Zach Bailey, a little low ball. And they've delivered it to half forward in a flash.
And now inside forward 50 to a 2-on-1 contest. Swans favoured by that, but off hands. Tidied up by McKenna. Good vision. Found the big O in the goal square. All alone, an unselfish play by the Lions. The big O will go back and kick this goal, and he'll make the margin just 3 points.
This is just work rate from the big Oscar McInerney, just working Grundy forward. Ran right to the goal square and he was absolutely screaming for it, and a great square up to hit him in the goal square.
McInerney didn't panic, goes back over the mark, didn't try and rush things. So the drop punt from directly in front fires it through, and the scoreboard tightens up big time. The Brisbane Lions back within a kick. It is 6-8-44 Brisbane, trailing the Swans 7-5-47 on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard, looking for a luxurious, tough off-road caravan. Explore Australia like never before in a Titanium Caravan, where rugged durability meets premium comfort. Australian made and 100% Australian owned, built for the toughest terrain with superior quality and ultimate luxury. Make your next caravan a Titanium Caravan.
Well, Brisbane have had 2 inside 50s in this third term for 2 straight goals. They've been super efficient. Just love the way they've been able to just work the Swans over and create scoring opportunities just around stoppages. I'd love to see Brisbane just support Lachie Neale a little bit more. James Jordan's been doing the job on him since the start of the game, and he's kept him to only the 6 disposals, but he's been really selfless at stoppages.
So margin back to 3 points. Swans with their snouts just in front from McDonald's and Ream Hotwater. Triple M Rocks footy. Free kick. That is high, and then it'll go to Will Ashcroft. So McInerney just copping him around the neck, so he spits a handball wide. McCluggage is there from 55, loads up that right side. Driving ball is right there, tossed off hands. And it'll be a minor score, so to the Brisbane, so margin just the 2 points. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard. Stay off-road, off-grid for longer with luxurious Titanium Caravans. Visit titaniumcaravans.com.au.
So the kick in from the Swans goes wide and tidied up off hands by Darcy Fort. Has time to straighten up, and good looking kick into the pocket. Mark taken by Eric Hipwood at full flight over the top of Matty Roberts. Chance to give the Lions the lead, and worrying signs for the Swans, Jude Bolton.
Yeah, getting repeat entries. They're putting the pressure on the Swans and just creating these scoring opportunities. If they can capitalise, really start to push the Swans here.
So will Hipwood go right foot snap around the corner, or will he try and invent something on the left? He's in the left forward pocket in front of the members stand. Really tough angle for the lefty who went drop punt from a similar angle in the earlier quarter. He goes right foot snap around the corner and kicks the goal. Eric Hipwood puts the Lions in front on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard. Beautiful finish from Eric the Eel to make it 7-9-51 to 7-5-47. The Lions over the Swans.
They're playing with far more energy than the Brisbane Lions in this third term. We've seen the aggressive kick straight up the middle from defence. They've been able to just hunt after the Swans, and that's what they've got the score on the board. You can see them up and about in the middle of the ground, ready to go for this next centre bounce, while the Swans are trying to just bring themselves in, compose. Got to get their hands on the football.
And for Bob J.T. Marks, Justin Edwards.
Yeah, Brisbane had to kick that goal without Josh Dunkley. He came off under the blood rule, was bleeding from the head. He's all strapped up now, and I can tell you it's doing absolutely nothing for his glorious hairstyle. The strapping has totally ruined it.
So Brisbane get their noses in front, courtesy of Hipwood, Bailey and McInerney to start this third term. 10 minutes played. It is game on in Sydney. As Grundy and McInerney eyeball each other in the centre square. Little tap forward. Leaving it behind was Rayner. Chad Warner goes off the ground and he gets it pretty deep. Haywood attacks the footy. Leaves it behind. Spits out to Hanley. Hanley round the volley. First goal in AFL footy. Little Tommy Hanley hits the scoreboard. 10 minutes third term. Sydney hit back 8-5-53. Lions 7-9-51. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Yeah, outstanding. The young man from Gippsland under 18, Tommy Hanley, only standing 179 centimetres tall. But this is exactly why he's into the side. Just his ability to get onto the loose ball. He hits the front of the pack on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay. Picked it up clean. He's had a couple of chances inside forward 50 today. He dropped the chest mark and had where he just tried to just snatch it before that, but this was clean and crisp for his first goal.
Braden Campbell wanted the handball. Tommy Hanley's there.
Give the kid a chance to kick it.
I'm set up beautifully for a right foot snap here. So the young kid has done some nice things in this game, in this quarter for the Swans, who conceded the first 3 goals of the term, now hit the scoreboard to regain the lead by 2 points. The grand final rematch turning into a cracker. Would have been handy to have this on the last Saturday in September, as McInerney takes it out of the ruck, tumbles it deep. Intercept mark taken by Rampy. Nice work off the ball, helping him out from Hamling. Plays on quickly Rampy. Goes to Patton, the former Saint, on the half-back flank, and he just slows things down for the Swans. So early stages here, third term. Risky kick across the face of goal, back to Hamling, who's able to work the 1-2 with Patton. Has time for a bounce, didn't get the bounce right. Just got it back in time. Able to go to Rampy on his favoured side. Penetrating kick towards the logo. One-hand stretch from Hanley, kept it alive, but Zorko able to take the Lions forward to Archie. Umpire is just waving arms around, but it's play on. And just far enough for the mark to be paid on the half-forward flank for the Lions to Levi Ashcroft.
So Ashcroft with the footy, 60 from home, hemmed in on the boundary, just chips it inside 50. Matty Roberts positioned himself well, and he takes the mark in front of Eric Hipwood. So Roberts spits one forward to another left footer in Campbell, through centre half back, driving ball towards Papley. He's out here. The Little Pistons up and back, up and back. Here's a handball to Hamlin, the goal kicker. Fires a long one to the pocket, but it's wide and too wide. And it'll go out on the full. It'll be a free kick to Brisbane in the back pocket.
That's just a rush of blood from the young fella. Just he got the opportunity once Papley had made the break, but you've got to take that split second, maybe size something back up inside.
Yeah, teammates further afield disappointed with the choice. Going inside forward 50 there by McInerney. So Andrews from fullback has that one picked off by Melican. 3 Swans worked it out against 1 Lion. Melican drives it low, and that'll be intercepted by Wilmot. So it's kick to kick at the moment. Wilmot goes across the face of goal to Leicester with confidence in the back pocket. He takes on Warner on the mark and goes to centre wing for the likes of Morris to climb over the top. McKenna out the back, invents a kick, tries to put it out in front of Archie, who had a paddock, but that paddock has been closed down by the Swans. And Sammy Wicks is just taking ground off opponents at will.
He's lightning quick, Sam Wicks, and you can see that he's got a little bit of hot-headed anger about him, and he just drove Calamachi into the grass on the side.
So Sydney 8-5, Lions 7-9. Ball on centre wing. Broadcast side, Zach Bailey picks it up. Heaney gets him in a good tackle.
Really good contest around the stoppages at the moment.
And Stu Bolton.
Will Ashcroft and Cam Rayner hunting after the football.
And thanks to Seabass Super special comments. Seabass Super making hard work pay off since 1984. Was that holding the footy? No.
Yeah, one umpire was going to give it, I reckon. The other did not.
They blow the whistle and look at each other. Beyond me. So ball elevates. Darcy Fort wins this one forward. McInerney gets crunched in a tackle. Was he high? Yes, it was. Free kick Sydney at half-back. Ollie Florence sprints away. Drives it towards McCartan at half-forward. And big Jack Payne just fists it away. And we'll have a boundary throw-in. 8-5 Sydney. They lead Brisbane 7-9. Just the 2-point ball game. The Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
And some Red Z lending stats. Jude Bolton.
Heaney's up to 18 disposals. Blakey's had 17. Hugh McCluggage 16. Dunkley's had the 15 disposals.
Ashcroft took the tackler on and is pinged for holding the ball. And the crowd was right on top of that. You heard them roar, and they got the response they wanted from the umpires. So Rowbottom takes that free kick out in front of Amadi. Late ground made up by Leicester to affect the spoil. Ball spills across the boundary line, but the Swans leading by 2 points, approaching the midpoint of the third term here.
So don't go anywhere after this one. For Choice Hotels around the grounds, we take you to the MCG. Barry Denner and Al Nicholson will hold court there directly after this particular game. So Sydney 53. Lions 51 as they look to exit D50. The Lions. Rayner down low, leaves it behind Zach Bailey. He's been influential. And he's held in a good tackle. We'll get a throw up at half forward for the Swans.
It's the Pies against Port at the MCG tonight. Marble Stadium also hosting the Bulldogs against the Kangas as the Swans take it out and get... Warner threw that away as he was being tackled to McInerney. Umpire well positioned again. Umpire's having a good day today, I reckon. Brett Rosebery with the adjudication. Free kick going to Dunkley, who's got his head swathed in bandages here.
Behind play, Florent and also Neil going to ground.
How's Neil going on those red Zeds, Jude, as the ball spills to Berry, tidies up. Umpire's found another free kick going the way of the Swans.
Still hasn't touched the ball since quarter time.
Unbelievable. Lockie Neal. And all of his Brownlow votes won't be getting a vote today. Jordan cancelling him out as the intercept mark taken by Leicester. Plays on quickly, goes to Zorko. Bouncing ball, he tries to fist it back inside defensive 50 to Starcevic, forces him into retreat. Gets dunked up and getting the kick away. Downfield free kick would have been paid. Mark taken by Zorko anyway. It's a willing grand final rematch now.
So Berry has it
after him
at half back. He squeezes one to Leicester. Leicester's held up by McInerney. True centre half back. Is that the stupidest rule in AFL, the stand rule? I'll get back to that one as they fan to the western side and Dunkley has the footy. Dunkley looks up. Sydney push back in numbers. Ashcroft makes good position, but he goes further afield, and that's cleverly delivered because Berry marks at about 60 from home in front of James Jordan. Takes off now, wheels around, drives it to a dangerous spot. Melican up first and in front takes a fine mark. So Melican can repel.
Melican looks better this week, just even having Hamling there as we spoke about previously. Just they looked undersized last week against the Hawks.
Warner tries to rise for mark of the year. Lions tidy up at ground levels. It spilled off hands and send it forward again towards Hipwood. Spoiled down in front. Wicks tidies up, but Dunkley would have fisted away from Wicks and couldn't get the return ball from Eric Hipwood. How's young Logan Morris going on the Red Z lending stats?
He's only had the one kick.
He's still out there as in injury trouble early on, but he's being held by the likes of Melican very comfortably. Swans lead by 2 points here past the midway point of the third quarter.
And Bretton Speed, Brad Seymour, Jude Bott with you this afternoon. Justin Edwards is boundary side, but Brisbane win it again. Comes back to Fletcher. Fletcher puts it up the chimney towards half forward. They jostle for position. Spills to grass. Lloyd round the body, clears for momentarily. It's an important ball to win here. Jackson Payne caught in a good tackle. Corey Warner swoops on it. Can he keep it in front of him? He can. Darcy Wilmot did just as good. A little low dart and delivers to half forward to Ashcroft.
And went back to Wilmot. Another smother. This time it's Matty Roberts who got his body in the road, and McInerney tidies up the loop. loose ball, was clean, sweeps it wide to the Chad, Warner away, there's a Lion down right on the edge of the square as well, so the Swans with a big chance to take it forward here. Slick hands over the top, back to Warner, came from McInerney, shot on the run, was very selfish from the Chad, goes out of bounds on the full. He had a teammate all alone in the goal square, Braden Campbell, he didn't even look at it.
Yeah, Jared Berry was the one who was slow to get up for the Lions, but tell you what, Chad Warner has absolutely torched a few blokes there.
So Sydney by 2 points. Intensity and the work rate is lifted now as they head to the outer side. Darcy Fort driving balls clever. McKenna's got it, wants to move quickly, and that's an errant kick. He'll want that one back because it hit the outside of the boot and went out of play. And we'll get a throw in at half forward for the Lions. They're 7-9. The Swans are 8-5, and we've played 20 minutes third term.
Just seeing the Harvey Norman replay just of Jared Berry, it was just incidental contact, but it was backing back away from the contest, and McInerney got him in the middle of the back.
A little accidental drive-by from McInerney. So Heaney taking Will Ashcroft to ground. Umpire lets it roll as it breaks to Warner. Corey Warner, that is. His kick almost lace out for McCartan, but a good spoil by Payne. Sets it up for Lester to tidy up the scraps. Another good timing in the jump from Warner. Stopped the Lions from going the other way. Now they have a chance. Levi Ashcroft, little kick. Oh! Rampy over the top. Didn't stick the mark. Didn't stick the landing either. Cheek tidies up. Berry goes to Will Ashcroft. Time to steady. Will Ashcroft for goal. Across the face of goal. Minor score. It's a 1-point ball game in the grand final rematch. 7-10. 52 the Lions. Trailing the Swans 8-5-53.
It's playing at great intensity this quarter. Both teams just so willing in the contest.
So Blakey, he pokes at one, he wanted Wicks, but Zorko will cut it off, runs to 42. Zorko drives it back straight over his head. Terrific goal, Dane Zorko. He puts Brisbane back in front, 8-10-58. To Sydney, 8-5-53, Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
He's having a terrific game, Dane Zorko. He's up to 17 disposals, an incredible goal on the run. Came on the back of pressure, just the intercept. They were able to turn the Swans around. But he had the presence of mind to say, I've got the distance here, straighten up, and a wonderful kick on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay.
36 years young, Dane Zorko, premiership player with the Lions last year and showing all of his experience there. But the Swans did kick to a 2-on-1 and paid the price.
Well, that's exactly right. I think you can see a few guys starting to be out on their feet. Because of the intensity of the game, they're making errors, torching their teammates as they're going inside forward 50 or making a poor decision in kicking a 2-on-1.
So the Lions by 5 points, ball back in the middle. Grundy against McInerney. Neither run decisive. Umpire went down. Free kick's been spotted, has it?
Yeah, umpire contact. So free kick Brisbane.
Yeah, I think it was against James Jordan, trying to get around to Lockie Neal.
So McInerney takes it. Just goes high and quickly towards half forward. No one can mark. Zach Bailey sweats on it. Can he kick his fourth? Zachy Bailey! He's kicked 4. They've kicked 5 for the term, Brisbane. And they are blowing this game open. 9-10-64 the Lions. They lead Sydney 8-5-53. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
We just saw the face of Dean Cox on the big screen, and he's just lamenting the fist that came from the Swans defender that put it back into a dangerous position. It was Ben Patton. He could have had the chance to take a mark. All other players were regarding their opponents, but he just fisted it to a really dangerous position. And Zach Bailey, so slick, picks it up and a wonderful snap on his left.
A lot of goals going to the left of our radio dial. Justin Edwards for Bob Jane T-Marts. Is that the scoring end, do you think? That's where Harris Andrews elected to go in that first quarter when he won the toss.
I think so. There's a little bit of a breeze going that way. The Swans have activated their sub down here. Ben Patton is out of the game. Riley Bice, the debutant, is into the game.
So clean. The Swans able to take it away, and it was Bice immediately into the action. Campbell handball to Grundy, beat one, floats it over the top to Hanley. His handball into the forward pocket for Hayward. Goes across the face of goal, hoping for a teammate. It allowed Berry. Could have taken the intercept mark. Did the safety first approach, fisted it through for a minor score. So the margin back to 10 points. 8-6-54 the Swans, 9-10-64 the Lions on that Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
So Darcy Wilmot stands in defensive goal square. They deploy to the eastern side. He misses the captain with the kick. Andrews won't be impressed, but the ball goes out of play. So Heaney, no, it was touched. Heaney wanted the free kick. He won't get it. It'll come back for a throw in. So Brisbane pressing hard here. They've kicked 5 goals to 1 in this third term, and we've travelled 24 minutes. And putting Sydney to the sword, asking all sorts of questions now. Throws in, comes to Starcevic, has to release the foot. He does well to Berry. Berry around the body off half-back. Melican well positioned. And he takes the mark, hugs it to his chest and chips one up the line to James Jordan.
So really well structured down the line, though. They're just protecting the leading lanes, Brisbane Lions.
In the sunshine in front of the Bill O'Reilly stand, Jordan takes his time, eventually kicks it into the forward pocket. Andrews favoured by that, went up for the mark, dropped it through his hands and across the boundary line for the stoppage. 6 minutes of actual game time before three-quarter time here. And the boundary umpire about to toss it in, 20 metres around from the behind post. Swans in need of a goal, trailing by 10 points right now. Umpire tosses it in, off hands. Nice blind turn from Fletcher, able to get it further afield towards Bailey. What a game, Morris, who's time for a bounce, kicks to a 2-on-1 contest, and the 2 win out for the Swans. Wicks, no, a block. McKenna was taken out of it, gets the free kick for the Lions. Wants to play on quickly. Saw Rayner in the goal square all alone, but he missed him, and it tumbles out of play next to the behind post.
Bice had a moment right there. He's got 2-on-1 running back towards goal. Just forces that over the ground.
I love the intent from Connor McKenna. When he's 60 metres out from goal, he wants to move it quickly, wants to put the Sydney defence under the pump. They throw it in forward pocket. Brisbane deep in attack, pressing hard here. Sydney, a little handball forward to Will Ashcroft. He's in the way. Wicks wins it, has to release the handball. Berry, that's clever. Brisbane have the numbers here. Just trying to...
Sydney.
Well, they were lucky to get out of that contest, Sydney. Heaney will win it against the odds. And they'll look to repel off half-back western side.
There's no run, though. You can see there's not a lot of overlap.
I got you covered. Play on.
Heaney turned down the run. Could have gone via hands. Elects to kick it up towards Hayward on centre wing. Spills off hands kindly to Braden Campbell. Free kick advantage to the Swans. Handball inboard to Lloyd. McInerney with speed. Run down by Fletcher. Didn't get a legal disposal away. It's a throw by McInerney. What a chase by Jasper Fletcher, who's paid the price perhaps. He's limping, but takes that free kick and goes inboard to Harris Andrews.
Wonderful, desperate tackle, though, because McInerney was sizing up the goals. He's running inside forward 50.
Relentless from Fletcher. So they've created the turnover. There a chance here. Darcy Wilmot has it. A fan wide to the eastern side. And Melican puts a good tackle on. And Logan will hand the footy back. It's a little sore, doesn't he?
Important 4 or 5
Logan
minutes
Morris.
Here.
So we'll have a ball up. Brisbane in attack. They lead it by 10 points. Not long to go in this third term. Zorko a chance. Rampy in his back. Is that? Yes, it is.
Oh, he took the advantage.
I think
but he's kicked it.
And he's kicked it. Morris.
They celebrate at the city end. And Morris has kicked a magnificent goal around the body. And it was a Zorko free kick. In turn, Morris kicked the goal.
They all dropped their heads once he played on. They said, "What are you doing?" And on Triple M Harvey Norman, he's ended up kicking a goal a year contender because he should not have played on. And it was just unbelievable check side from the boundary.
So 10-10-70 the Lions. They lead Sydney now 8-6-54 in the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard. And it's been a 6-goal-to-1 turn from the reigning premiers.
You look at the Triple M Harvey Norman replay, he should have taken the mark, but he was slow to react as the ball came inside forward 50 Logan Morris. Then the free kick was earned by a teammate. He obviously didn't hear the whistle because he goes for a check side from the boundary instead of giving it to his teammate. And lucky it went through for a 16-point lead. So the ball back in the middle. The Swans need three-quarter time or a goal of their own in a real hurry here. 4 minutes to play before the final break. Slap down towards Jordan. who's been wearing Lockie Neal like a glove. His handball only as far as Starcevic, who weaves his way through traffic cleverly. Starcevic sends the Lions back inside forward 50, bouncing ball. Blakey tried to soccer it, and good tackle laid by Calamachi. He doesn't let the ball out, so we'll get a stoppage. Top of the arc at the Lions' end of the ground with a 16-point lead.
They're pressing hard here, the Lions. They can smell blood in the water as McInerney's held up.
Plus minute contested possession. They're smacking the Swans around that congested area.
And that was the story in last year's granny too. So it's going to come back. Numerous whistles on play. It'll be a free kick to Sydney at half back, going to James Rowbottom. So they earn a reprieve here for just a moment. As I mentioned, Brisbane have kicked 6 goals to 1 in this third term to regain the lead at the 29-minute mark of the third term. Haywood now goes up the line. Hamley leaves it behind. It's a 2-on-3, but Ainsworth wins out and goes towards centre wing. Rampy to repel for the Swans. A little handball. Haywood up and under. We haven't seen much of Bice, but he's in a bit of a tickle here. He has to go back to Rampy. Rampy's caught in a good tackle, and Bice will escape now off halfback. Low ball. Touched it was. McInerney a chance to give it to Warner.
And the Chad swings it inside forward 50. Up they go, off hands. Big chance out the back. Here's the goal they need. Heaney. Shepherd applied on the goal line by Patley to allow Heaney to stroll into goal. And the Swans get a desperately needed goal to make the margin 10 points. 10-10-70. The Lions lead the Swans 9-6-60. It's game on again in the grand final rematch on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Riley Bice has come onto the ground as the sub, but he started to get his hands to the football. It wasn't clean, it wasn't pretty, but they were able to just get that forward. And then suddenly when Warner just drove it long on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay, there was enough contest in the air with McCartan coming back, creating a soft drop over the back, and Papley and Heaney were the first onto it, with Heaney being the one with the finish.
That's Duke Bolton from Triple M footy this afternoon. Triple M Super special comments. Super Super making hard work pay off since 1984. So the Shadows are three-quarter time, and we have a 10-point ball game. The Premiers with their noses in front. They lead at 10-10-70 to 9-6-60 for McDonald's. Then Ream Hotwater, Triple M Rocks footy. Chad Warner rides the tackle, gives it to Rampy, a good fend. Goes back by a hand to Grundy. Grundy will drive it towards half forward. And Wilmont or Jack Payne? Jack Payne.
Or Paul Kick
wins out on this occasion as they go wide to the eastern side.
Yeah, gave Patley a chance, and he's dragged off the footy. Should be a free kick to Patley. No umpire's letting it roll right now. Swans fans about to riot at the SCG, furious with the umpiring, but now holding the ball. That'll win the fans back over. Free kick goes the way of the Swans. 60 from home. Out on the boundary line on the outer side, it goes to Patley in the end, who should have been given a free kick for holding the man about 2 seconds before that. So he plays on, kicks around the corner to the forward pocket. Up they go. Mark should be paid, and is to Leicester. Spring Hill.
Big pack mark from Leicester in defence. He's laid on though.
They're going to be forced wide again. They fan to the eastern side. Sydney have the numbers. Oscar McInerney waits at the back. It spills into his hands. Has to release. That's holding the footy. Advantage call. Blakey jams it back in for another turn. Ryan Lester's there again. A little chipping ball outside. Comes to the fore. Papley waits. He doesn't look fit, Tommy Papley. Rayner rips it away from him. Charges forward and drives it towards half forward, but Rampy will repel.
And chips it inboard towards Chad Warner inside the centre square. Final minute of the third quarter being played here. Swans trailing by 10 points. Warner off the outside of the boot, big up and under, allows Lloyd to get there to create a contest, but he couldn't get a touch on it. Gave away the 50 perhaps. Zorko played for it, trying to milk one. He took the intercept mark. He'll have to take the kick from where he took that mark, and he swings it to the halfback flank for Berry.
It's a poor entry. Kick, kick forward, which just plays into the hands of the Brisbane Lions. They had numbers down the line.
Jared Berry, a loyal servant, been pretty good this afternoon, goes up and wide, and Dunkley makes it look really good. With the headband on, with that cut to the head.
He's not in any rush here. He's got Oscar McInerney down the line as well as Logan Morris.
They lead it by 10 points, 33 minutes the third term. So Dunkley drives it towards half forward. The pack set themselves. No one can mark. Haywood front and square. He's caught by Will Ashcroft, and we'll have a ball up. 10-10-70 the Lions, 9-6-60 Sydney, with 8 seconds to play. Darcy Ford just jabs it forward, not 15's the call. Rampy has to release. They work it by hand, Wicks, and then Ollie Florent. What a quarter it was. There's the circuit breaker to end three-quarter time. And after 33 minutes in the third term, it's a 10-point ball game to the visitors. 10-10-70 Brisbane. They lead the Swans 60 from McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks football.
That quarter, the Titanium Caravans. Stay off-road and off-grid for longer with a luxurious Titanium Caravan. Visit titaniumcaravans.com.au.
For McDonald's,
Triple M rocks footy.
the new AFL Happy Meal is here with 18 unique bag clips to collect. Available 10:30am to midnight while stocks last for a limited time only.
Go Harvey Norman for the hottest deals on the best brands in tech. Right now, up to 20% off Lenovo and Acer computers, like the Acer Aspire Go. Now below $348, save $150. Or save $230 on the Core i5 Acer Aspire Go, now $668. Get in quick and grab a bargain on powerful Lenovo IdeaPad with 16GB RAM and 1TB storage, now $998 while stocks last. Harvey Norman, best brand, best range, best prices guaranteed. Conditions apply.
Here we go.
It's the Mitsubishi Motors factory clearance, and you're good to go with a $3,000 bonus on Trident models. Plus, score up to $2,000 in customer loyalty bonus. That's up to $5,000 off your driveway price, so you can go adventuring. All backed by Australia's first 10-year warranty with 10 years cap price servicing. You're good to go with Mitsubishi. T's and C's apply. Visit the Mitsubishi Motors website for details.
She thought it was true love. He looked at her. Handsome. Nice watch. Then he just started firing questions. How much do you earn? What are your assets? Why do you need my money? It was then she realised he was a bank and would never understand her business. Red Z knows when you need a loan, you need someone that understands the self-employed. With love from Red Z. Speak to your broker or visit redz.com. Red Z. Backing those who back themselves. Australian credit licence 311128.
Yeah, it's been a long week. Now, it's finally time to put your feet up and watch your team work hard to bring home the win. Cbus Super is on your team too, working hard to provide strong long-term returns for after the final whistle. Cbus Super, making hard work pay off. Read the PDS and TND to decide if Cbus is right for you. Past performance is not a reliable indicator of future performance.
Hi, Rodney Jane here. Pocket even more savings at Bob Jane T-Mart. We've got Bridgestone free, Yokohama free, Kumo free. How? Simply buy 3 and the 4th tyres free. Get up to $150 instant cashback on selected Pirelli and Bridgestone tyres. Plus receive an e-gift card up to $150 when you buy 4 selected BF Goodrich tyres. Give us a call or shop online today. At Bob Jane T-Marts, we'll look after you. T's and C's apply.
Go Harvey Norman for the hottest deals on the best brands in tech. Right now, up to 20% off Lenovo and Acer computers, like the Acer Aspire Go. Now below $348, save $150. Or save $230 on the Core i5 Acer Aspire Go, now $668. Get in quick and grab a bargain on powerful Lenovo IdeaPad with 16GB RAM and 1TB storage, now $998 while stocks last. Harvey Norman, best brand, best range, best prices guaranteed. Conditions apply.
Here we go.
It's the Mitsubishi Motors factory clearance, and you're good to go with a $3,000 bonus on Trident models. Plus, score up to $2,000 in customer loyalty bonus. That's up to $5,000 off your driveway price, so you can go adventuring. All backed by Australia's first 10-year warranty with 10 years cap price servicing. You're good to go with Mitsubishi. T's and C's apply. Visit the Mitsubishi Motors website for details.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for Beacon Trade. Tradies, big jobs, small jobs, tough jobs. Beacon Trade's got the lighting, fans and electrical to get it done. Join up at beacontrade.com.au.
It's three-quarter time at the SCG, and it's a 10-point lead to the visitors. 10-10-70 Brisbane, 9-6-60 Sydney, following a 6-goal-1 third term in where Zach Bailey has registered his 4th goal of the season. For McDonald's Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks footy. Ream Hot Water built tough for Aussie conditions. When it comes to water heating, simple. Ask your plumber to install a Ream. Jude Bolton with all the data to three-quarter time.
Number 1 ranked player on the ground, Josh Dunkley, with his 19 disposals. He's had 10 of those contested. Jared Berry's had 21 disposals. Isaac Heaney, 20 disposals and a goal. Blakey's had 19, and Rampy and McInerney have 17 each, and Zorko's had 18 and 1. But just the ability of that third term, just to get on top around the stoppages and create unbelievable looks going inside forward 50, mounted a massive charge. The Brisbane Lions started to take control, but Sydney got an important goal back towards the cusp of three-quarter time.
Choice hotels around the grounds. Don't go anywhere, because following this match, we are taking you straight to the MCG for Collingwood, Port Adelaide. Barry Denner, Al Nicholson, Daisy Thomas and Lee Montagna will lead the charge there. And if you're not going to want to listen to that one, you can flip over to the Listener app, and of course you can hear the Dogs and the Kangas at the same time.
For Bob Jane T-Marts, Justin Edwards is on the boundary line for us today. What is making the Paddington end the scoring end?
Yeah, I'm not sure, Speedy. The breeze is not enough that you would think it would have that much of an impact. The ground now bathed in shade now, which is going to be a lot more comfortable for the players after it was quite hot in those first couple of quarters. For the Brisbane Lions, Jasper Fletcher just required some treatment on his right knee. Got it strapped at the end of that third quarter, and he's starting the fourth quarter on the bench as well, so we'll keep an eye on that one. For the Swans, Dean Cox again came down to the bench in that third quarter. Only spent about 10 minutes in the box before coaching from the rest of the quarter from the bench, and looks like he's going to start this fourth quarter on the bench as well.
Bob Jane T-Marts, buy 3, get 1 free, plus instant cash back on Bridgestone, Yokohama, Kumo and Pirelli. Visit bobjane.com.au today. T's and C's apply.
James Jordan doing the job on Lockie Neal. He's only had the 6 disposals, has not touched the footy for 2 quarters straight, had 35 disposals in the grand final. We're on Lockie Neal watch in terms of possessions. He's lowest ever as a Brisbane Lions, 15.
Wow. Give me one player from each team that need to lift, Jude.
For me, I think just Chad Warner needs to just have a big last quarter for the Sydney Swans.
And playing forward here.
And then I think, I reckon Zorko can go to another level, maybe Archie, bit spark as well.
Papley being quiet again for the Swans. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M rocks Twilight footy as we get set for the final term here. Brisbane just with a 10-point lead going into this last term, and they've done it. Loman, they lost Loman in the first term. Logan Morris went down and missed a considerable chunk of the game, and to his credit, he's back out on the ground. He kicked that goal in the third term, but they have been undermanned. It's been a magnificent performance from Brisbane.
And Chad Warner not starting in the middle here when the Swans need a goal. He's starting in the forward pocket.
Deep forward, exactly, right up next to Amadi, who's starting out of the goal script.
Zachy Bailey, he has 4 for the afternoon, your leading goal kicker on the ground. There's a bit of doof still surrounding the SCG. Is this your sort of go on your birthday, Jude? You sort of
not at all.
No doof. Maybe a bit of Bruce Springsteen. What a bit of Bruce, bit of the boss. All right, we're all set here with 1 quarter to go for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy. Grundy and McInerney. McInerney wins it, follows it up. Down low, McCluggage gives it to Zach Bailey. He gives it to Zorko. Zorko with a long ball forward.
Up they go. Did he get a nudge from Hamling? Archie flew over the top. Hamling takes the intercept mark. No free kick there as he goes quickly to Blakey, who swings it to the halfback flank where Jake Lloyd takes the mark. So able to assess things with Zach Bailey manning the mark. Chips it short, just far enough for Rampy to be paid the mark. So
this plays into Brisbane's hands. This stop-start, long down the line sort of stuff. They can get set behind the footy.
Amadi rises on centre wing. Andrew's got a touch to it. McCluggage tries to get after the loose ball, but Lloyd first to latch onto it. Jordan sold some candy. Got rid of Dunkley. Gets a nice kick towards the forward 50. Good contest created by Tom McCartan. Ball wouldn't quite stay in for Papley, who would have been away. It's another heartbreaker for Papley. How's he going on the Red Z lending stats?
Tommy Papley's only had the 8 disposals thus far.
Red Z Lending, loans for the self-employed. REDZED.com.
So Lloyd sits off the back of this pack on one side, Zorko on the other. They're the free players. Everyone else one-on-one. It comes to the front. Can Heaney get his mitts to it? No. Good smother from Lloyd. That was on Dunkley's kick. Grundy tries to prize it out. Comes to Ashcroft, back to Zorko. Zorko, a quick kick forward. Rampy, the stalwart in defence as he's been. Asked to play on now. Has to release. He wants to go inboard. It's ambitious to Roberts. Roberts looks to the outer side. And he's got Corey Warner and he can go.
He's got all kinds of time to bounce a shocker. Puts him under pressure, though. Goes to his brother in Chad Warner. He has to weave some magic between two lines. Goes high, up and under. Well read, and the mark taken. He was the only one with eyes on the footy, Will Hayward, and it fell in his lap in the end. He's got a chance to go back and kick the goal from almost directly in front.
Well, it started with Corey Warner, who had an absolute panic, and he just chose the worst decision, which was the bumbly fumble just of a terrible bounce, and it invited the pressure. And then the dump kick forward, as you mentioned, Speedy, the eyes on the football from Will Hayward, a wonderful pack mark.
Normally deadly from this kind of range. Will Hayward, the South Australian who stays in Sydney with the Swans. Drop punt on the way, right through the middle. First goal of the final term goes the way of the home team. And they are back within one straight kick. It's 10-6, 66. Clickety-click the Swans, who trail the Brisbane Lions 10-10-70 on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Well, Rampy was the one who just called the play on as we watched the Triple M Harvey Norman replay, and he got into a lot of trouble because Brisbane were jamming his left foot up, and he had to bring his teammates into it. But they just fumbled around with it, and the dump kick forward from Chad Warner, sometimes that chaos ball just works because the Brisbane Lions, they're set up for just when it's predictable down the line, and that just dropped short. It was Will Hayward who kept his eyes on the footy.
Tradies, big jobs, small jobs, tough jobs. Beacon Trade's got the lighting, fans and electrical to get it done. Join up at beacontrade.com.au.
So we're back in the middle of the McDonald's and Hotwater Triple M Rocks footy. Grundy taps it down. Dunkley leaves it behind. Goes back to Oscar McInerney. Driving ball, chaos ball forward. And that's a terrific mark taken by Handling. So he squares it wide. Sydney can move it forward now to McInerney. So McInerney at half-back, called to play on now, wants to come inboard. It's an ambitious kick. It spills to the back, off the ground goes Rampy, gets it towards half-forward. Papley is dangerous in this position. Zorko, great tackle. Brings him down. Ashcroft will sweat upon this. Wins the footy at half-back, squeezes one wide to the wing.
Brilliant kick by Will Ashcroft. There's a lot going on off the ball. Multiple men down as the Lions play on, and from centre wing, kick towards Morris inside forward 50. He read it better than Melican. And Logan Morris takes the mark, 45 metres out, 45-degree angle.
Starcevic still down on the ground in the hands of the trainers at the moment. But yeah, as you mentioned, Morris on the lead in front of Melican, but was just able to get up off the ground, protect the space where it was about to drop.
Concern for Starcevic, who would have missed the opening round with concussion if it had been played, but it's been rescheduled, of course, and he's got a concussion issue here. So Logan Morris to take the set shot, trying to answer that goal just a moment ago from Hayward. It's across the face of goal for a minor score. So the lead is 5 points. Brisbane 10-11-71. The Swans 10-6-66 on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. For Bob Jane Teamarth, Justin Edwards.
Hey, Brandon Starcevic coming from the ground. He was in a head clash with Justin McInerney.
So Sydney went straight up the middle. It was a dangerous kick, but it's been awarded a free kick as Roberts was interfered with on the mark. So he squirts a little one wide to Heaney. Heaney has to release quickly. Zach Bailey put the pressure on him as they fan it to the outer side. Ashcroft there, Melican, big body, works his way through, drives it towards Amani. Superb work, Louis Melican.
I've never seen a bloke soccer to his own advantage more times than Lewis Melican has today. I reckon 4 or 5 times he's soccered through traffic to his own advantage to then tidy up.
Just a mature awareness around the play.
He doesn't have a lot of lateral movement,
no.
So it's low. He's just got to kick it, keep it going.
He's no Leo Barry, I'll give you the tip.
But I tell you what, it's fantastic effort to win your one-on-ones there and then just go forward. But the delivery to just elevate over the top of Harris Andrews hits Amadi.
So Amadi, a chance here. It's a must goal for Sydney as he strikes it to the city end and he pulls it to the left. It'll be a minor score. Margin stands at 4 points. Sydney 10-7-67. The Lions 10-11-71. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
So misses at both ends. Minor score. Still within one straight kick, the Swans. Kicking taken to a 2-on-2 kind of contest on centre wing. Melican gets involved. He's limping around after that contest, Louis Melican, allowing Levi Ashcroft to tidy up. Works a little 1-2, goes to the logo on centre wing in front of the Bill O'Reilly stand. Good spoil over the top from the Swans, who now have the numbers at ground level. But now the Lions arrive, and the ball still in dispute. Spills out the way of Logan Morris. He's caught. Didn't have time, no prior, so it's play on for the Lions, and that kick goes out of bounds on the full free kick to be taken by the Swans. How's Louis Melican going with that cramp?
Does not look good. He's coming straight off with it. He's had hamstring issues as well.
He's got his hand up like he's in the ocean down at Bondi, saying I'm in trouble here, and no lifesavers coming to help him.
So Sydney to repel. A long ball up the line. Grundy at the back. Can he keep it forward? He can. Comes to Hayward. Hayward caught in a good tackle. Dunkley. Will Ashcroft involved. A little chipping ball towards half forward for Brisbane. Going back with the flight was Lloyd. Melican, you've got to get him off.
You've got to get him off. He's a liability out there.
You've got to get the boy off.
The Lizard wants to run and gun. He's got some support on this outer side. Forward handball. They've worked it to centre wing to Corey Warner. Corey Warner goes up the line, and McCartan hugs it to his chest. 60 from home.
Really poor from the Swans, though. They've got to be more aware. Once you've got to lose a player like that, your forward line has to shuffle, slide it all back to protect Melican.
So McCartan takes the kick, tries to drop it into a dangerous spot. It's all Lions at the drop intercept mark taken by Answorth. And Melican has made his way off the ground, replaced by Wicks. So defender for defender there, but not exactly the same size. Kick to Neil. I reckon, spoil, but the free kick paid to Neil. How's he going, Reds Heads? I reckon he got one handball earlier in this quarter, Jude.
Yeah, he's up. This will be his 8th disposal.
So Lockie Neal kept quiet today by James Jordan, who was deemed to have infringed there, giving the free kick away to Lockie Neal on half-back flank. Kicks inboard, dangerous kick off Swans' hands. Ball to be won now at ground level. Clever play by Zach Bailey, BOG maybe. Set up Archie, though, who's caught by Rowbottom, the tackling machine. Advantage taken by Lloyd. Goes inboard to Warner. Chad, that is, over the top. Finds Braden Campbell, swings back onto his preferred side. The kick, shocker. Intercept mark taken by Answorth, who wants to play on quickly. Saw an option he liked in Levi Ashcroft, who's told to slow things down and just work the numbers. He did so cleverly. Goes to Wilmot, shouldn't have been paid the mark and isn't. And he's caught by Warner. Just time enough to get the handball away to Dunkley on the edge of the square. He sets it up, drops about 35 from home. Chest mark taken by the Big O, who had a height and size advantage on James Rowbottom. Real mismatch, and takes the chest mark directly in front, 40 out from goal.
Well, Grundy's now getting back to the goal square now after that, but it was his opponent who pushed hard forward. It was a long dump kick from Dunkley. And as you mentioned, the mismatch, Rowbottom somehow found himself on Oscar McInerney. He's going to have a shot from about 40 metres out directly in front.
He has kicked some handy goals in his time. Normally pretty reliable on getting the shot on target as well. Should be able to make the distance pretty comfortably. The Big O ambles in, drop punt on the way, pumps it towards goal, but hooked it. Striving for a bit of extra distance perhaps. 10-12-72 to 10-7-67. Lions 5 points in front for Bob Jane teammates. Justin Edwards.
Brandon Starcevich gone down to the Brisbane rooms. With his concussion history, I think it would be unlikely if we were to see him again in this game. Just want to keep an eye on. So a message went out from Dean Cox. Tom McCartan looks like he's been swung back to defence.
So Sydney need to run and gun and go fast from half-back. They do that now. They've got it to half-forward. Errant handball. That came from Hanley. They've turned it over, and Brisbane a chance on the counter-attack. It comes to Berry. He just drives it forward, and that will go out of play. Is that deliberate? I'm not sure. It'll be a throw-in on the forward pocket, will it, for Brisbane? I think it will. And they win that contest. It was a pretty good outcome because Sydney players were all offside. They're going to throw in the Lions. They lead it by 5 points. The Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
McCartan reintroducing to himself to defensive teammates. Hasn't trained with them all summer.
Grundy Pushes forward, but Ashcroft wins this. Down low goes to Berry. Berry will hook it back to about 20 from home. The fists come. McCartan's down back for Sydney. Has to just get it out of there. It's going to come back. Berry's in a good position. Gets it on forward 50 and dribbles one in. Wicks can't mark, but Sydney have the numbers. He's caught in a good tackle and a great smother. It came from Zorko and keeps the footy deep in forward 50 for the Lions. They lead at 10-12-72. Sydney 10-7-67. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Outstanding pressure from Dane Zorko. That's what locks it in. Gives the Brisbane Lions another opportunity to go to work at this stoppage.
The smother count 15-5 in favour of the Swans on the Red Z lending stats. Will Ashcroft tried to soccer it out of there. Another smother by the Lions allows Dunkley to go towards goal. Good teamwork, communication there. McCartan got a shout from Hamling. Able to back with the flight, take a good intercept mark. Plays on quickly. The Swans chasing the game. Went to a one-on-one and Lester over the top of the much younger Corey Warner. Fisted it across the boundary line with a stoppage just outside the attacking arc for the Lions.
With McCartan going back for the Sydney Swans, it means Isaac Heaney's pushed forward to be a bit more dangerous in playing as a forward.
Clearance count in this final quarter. The Lions 5, the Swans zip.
Speedy now, just giving some Red Z lending stats. Red Z lending loans for the self-employed, REDZED.com. So Blakey escapes. He asks the question, but it's going to be repelled. Answorth is there on forward 50. A little handball to Berry. Oscar McInerney involved. Comes to Zorko. He's on 50. Chips it towards goal. Archie sets himself. Rampy comes with a big fist. Wicks away underneath it. Ball out of play. Forward pocket Brisbane. They're pressing hard here, the Lions.
They've been fantastic. Just set up out on the arc. Wilmot there just getting involved. Brisbane Lions really well structured. You can see Payne and Andrews instructing and pointing to all their teammates.
Midpoint of the final term, bit going on the bench as well. We'll get to Justin Edwards in a moment. Some ice being applied to a hamstring for the Sydney Swans as Ashcroft goes across his body. Levi, that is, drops it in a dangerous spot, 20 from home. But the Lions, it's still alive here. Archie, clever, close range handball, found the mark, and a big goal by Dane Zorko. Right foot snap from 25 metres out, and it gives the Lions some breathing space. 11-12-78 in the grand final rematch. They lead the Swans by 11 points on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
As the ball came in, just a really dangerous spot at the top of the square. It was just an errant bumble and fumble from the Sydney Swans. It went defensive back, and they were able to swoop on the loose ball. Dane Zorko got the quick hands, and just didn't he love it on the Triple M Harvey Norman replay. Had the tongue out and the excitement after kicking that goal.
That was a bright yellow tongue as well on the Harvey Norman replay. Close range handball from McKenna was slick.
Yeah, might be a Powerade or a Gatorade sort of tongue, that one. The lemon lime sort of look about it. Zorko gets his second for the afternoon. So they're asking massive questions of the home side now. 14 minutes played final term. It's the Lions 11-12-78 to Sydney 10-7-67. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M likes footy. Don't forget, Ream Hot Water built up for Aussie conditions. When it comes to water heating, ask your plumber to install a Ream.
So the Swans hunting a clearance. They cough it up though. Heaney's handball missed the mark. Warner able to bail him out. Tidied up the footy, spirals one inside forward 50 for the Swans. It ricochets kindly for them. McInerney quickly on the boot. Shank finds a teammate, not far enough for the mark to be paid, so Warner has to go for goal. Got enough on it. Oh no, it rushed through for a minor score. Did Harris Andrews get a touch to
Must
that?
have got a fingernail to that. We'll have to have a look at the Triple M Harvey Norman replay, because he had enough time to straighten up and kick a drop punt. He went the snap and just was forced through.
So Leicester goes far and wide, and it's marked by Ollie Florence, so it'll come back for Sydney. We'll get to Justin Edwards in just a moment. So called to play on now is the Sydney wingman. Drives it to a dangerous spot. McInerney waits at the back. Berry's there. Hayward can swoop on this. He does. Outside of the boot. He's got Corey Warner. Did everything but mark it. Follows it up. Jams it on the boot. High up and under. But Berry will wait underneath this. And he'll take a mark for Brisbane in the last line of defence. Bob Jane T-Marts, Justin Edwards.
Yeah, Lewis Melican done for the day with ice on the hamstring. That'll be why Tom McCartan's been shifted back.
Where's the grippo, Speedy? Where's the grippo when you need it?
Yeah.
There's some slippery
He must have
hands
been
still out
close
there.
to front on contact and a free kick there, Corey Warner, as well. I thought he was favoured, but the kick down the line by the Lions. Dunkley in a wrestle, one-on-one contest, wins out against Wicks. Not many have done that today. So the free kick paid for holding, and Dunkley.
This will be his 26th disposal on the Triple M Red Z lending stats.
Just won some important contests at important times, Brisbane.
Goes long down the line. Morris rises this time. McCartan got a fist in there, thrown up by Roberts. And Bice, the first gamer, floats one forward. Up they go. Good contest, McInerney against Payne, who tracks down the loose footy. Coughs it up to the Swans, though. Oh, brave again by Dunkley. Put his head over the footy. Wilmot's handball just got enough connection on it. Swans fans thought he was caught, but it's play on. Ball in dispute on centre wing. Roberts first to it. Swings onto his left boot. Sells some candy to the big O. Did beautifully. Dinked it over the top of Levi Ashcroft, who's battling cramp at the moment, the first gamer.
They've got to be precise with the footy now, the Swans. They trail it by 10 points as Amati ambles away and kicks it to forward 50. No one can mark. Braden Campbell's a chance. Fast feet. One way, then the other. Jams it lateral is a perfect kick. And he moves it to Ollie Front on the other side, and he kicks it to Chad Warner. Is it a mark or free kick? Take your pick, but Warner's going to get the kick 50 out directly in front. Paddington in.
Yeah, the spread, the kick, though, from Florent just across the ground. I'm sorry, Campbell across the ground. That's what opened it up. It just had allowed access to the forward line. That numbers had flooded back for Brisbane. And then you could see the Swans fans spread out.
And Chad's numbers today, thanks to Red Z.
Chad Warner is now up to 16 disposals. Already kicked the goal.
So it is alarm bells ringing sort of time, 17 minutes, final term. Chad Warner to the city and driving ball. You couldn't have scripted it better. Chad Warner hits one back for Sydney. Margin back to 4 points on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. Brisbane 11-12, 78. Sydney 11-8, 74. 18 minutes gone, final term.
So Sydney have been forced into a big restructure with Melican going off with that hamstring. So McCartan's down in defence. They've got to find different avenues to goal, and the small forwards just went to work. Braden Campbell outstanding, just to be able to size that up and open up the ground by going to the fat side. And Warner dropping down, receiving the free kick from Leicester. Goes back and seals.
The most lethal player in Swans forward 50 at the moment is Braden Campbell. That's fast feet, lateral movement. He looks likely. Not many others do.
When you think back to grand final day, it was a 10-goal win to the Lions. 6 changes for the Swans since then. A couple for the Lions, but we would have loved this kind of close contest on grand final day. It's a 4-point ball game. 7 minutes of game time remaining. Lions take it out of the middle. Lockie Neal has room to move, but coughs it up. Intercept mark taken on half-back.
Marty's found
by Bice. Plays on quickly to Amati. Didn't fancy going back with the flight there. Payne tidied up, but ricochet to Neal, who doesn't have Jordan for company at the moment. Plays on quickly to Berry over the top to McCluggage. Good kick to the half-forward flank. And the mark taken by Archie, who's a sharp shooter. Tough kick this. And battling cramp as well, perhaps, Callum.
Outstanding from McCluggage. Just found that pocket of space to put it into and just drop it to his dynamic forward in Kel Archie. And as you mentioned, he's a straight shooter. Started as a full forward for South Fremantle as a youngster coming through.
So the set shot from just inside the boundary line. He'll take it from right around the arc. Callum Archie, drop punt on the way, trying to ride this one home just across the face of goal. It held its line beautifully. And it's a minor score, 11-13, 79. The Lions by 5 points on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
So questions have been asked now. Who can find that extra gear? Sydney bring it back in. And ends with Jakey Lloyd from Bice, the debutant. Lloyd looks up, he goes to Chad Warner. Chad Warner looks, he wants to go through the middle. Ambitious kick. If Sydney win it, they're away, and they are. Blakey, look at him go through the middle, has to release the handball. He does, comes to Lloyd. Was that holding the footy? No, play on. Brisbane can win it back here at half-back. Blakey forward handball. Oh, Hayward, a little fumble. Wilmot will mop up. Big
numbers
thing
for
to
Brisbane.
win. Great contest to win. Darcy Wilmot.
McCluggage sends Warner the wrong way. Goes to Archie again. He's off the chain. Takes the mark. Closer range this time. He'll be 20 outs. 45-degree angle. And what a big fumble it was. Well called snapper. Will Hayward, if he takes it clean, he's got teammates on. Almost a certain goal coming up for the Swans at one end. He fumbled and the Lions took it the other way in a hurry.
Yes, you can see the mental fatigue on both sides in this hot day at Sydney. Just a clear head from McCluggage to find his teammate once again.
So Archie ready to go around the corner this time after a beautiful drop punt went across the face of goal just a moment ago from the other side. So it comes around the corner, right foot snap on the way, and it's another minor score. So the margin is one straight kick now, 11-14-80 to 11-8-74. The Lions over the Swans.
They've been resolute, Brisbane, thus far. As Matty Roberts comes out at fullback and kicks it straight to Josh Dunkley.
You couldn't have a worse howler. We spoke about the mental fatigue. Well, he's just kicked the 20-metre straight hit-up pass to Josh Dunkley. He can go back and put it almost beyond reach.
That's Jude Bolton. This is Triple M Seabass Super special comments. Seabass Super making hard work pay off since 1984. Dunkley to put the first nail in the coffin from 45 out. Not much angle about it to the Rand weekend. Great kick, Josh Dunkley. 22-minute mark of the final term. They stretch the margin to two straight kicks. Brisbane 12-14-86. Sydney 11-8-74 on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
He's had some sort of game, Josh Dunkley, number one ranked player on the ground. He's had 17 possessions, 16 of those contested, but he's had 10 tackles and a goal as well. 27 in total, 17 kicks, sorry. He's been fantastic.
Number one ranked player, would he get your votes, or would Zach Bailey be the other contender with 4 majors?
We'll have to wait and see.
Are you giving out your votes later, are you, Jude? Look forward to that. Hopefully you've got time for that in the post-game
he's
show
not ready to give them to you yet, Speedy.
Still a bit of go to go.
Well,
the ball back in the middle. The Swans running out of time. Less than 4 minutes of game time remaining. They trail by 2 goals right now as Grundy tried to flick it over the top. No look style to Heaney. Has to make the follow-up tackle. It's going nowhere. McCluggage has to give it back to the umpire, who tosses it up quickly. Grundy tries to bring it down. It's all Lions at the drop, but it fumbles the way of McInerney, who gets a free kick for high contacts. So the Swans need to go forward and kick a goal in a hurry and tighten things up on that scoreboard again. He thought about going to the runner, McInerney. Holds on and will now drive it deep into the forward pocket. Kick drops off hands and spills across the boundary line. 20 metres from goal for the Swans.
They've just got to get to work, the Swans. Keep everything in momentum. Hit on, knock on, just create and surge mentality.
So about 4 minutes of drama yet to unfold. What can Sydney find here? They trail it by 2 straight kicks. The ball in dispute. Ollie Florence should be the first there in front of Rayner. He is. Uses the handball to James Jordan to Wicks. Wicks around the body. It will require someone to sit underneath it. Andrews with a fist. Determined and hell-bent on destruction. They get it to ground and get it wide to centre wing. Wicks will mop up for Sydney. Fast feet. The audacious bounce. Drives it back in towards Amati. Amati can't mark. Payne claimed it. He wasn't awarded. Leicester has to repel.
Kick right up the middle, straight to the Swans. Jordan fumbled, but he's got time to straighten up. Goes towards goal. Can he get enough on it, Jordan? Oh, high into the goal square. Heaney keeps it alive, does he? Umpire says no, there's a score that he's found, so a minor score. 11 points to margin, 2.5 minutes to go. Jude Bolton, who thought he was being asked for all Australian intel there, he was just being asked for his best on ground as he sees it right now on Triple M. Got integrity issues on
It wasn't a difficult question,
Anyway.
So Brisbane to repel from fullback. 11-point ball game now. Rampy reaches up. Third man in the pack. Just drops it forward. Brisbane will want this out. The time is on their side now as Lloyd and Ashcroft walk it across. And we'll get a throw in front of the members' stand. 12-14-86 Brisbane. They lead Sydney 11-9-75. 25 minutes gone. Final term. Red time now. It is all or nothing for the Swans. They need to dare. So Lloyd at the back of the pack. Just goes with a high ball towards half forward. Tip of the square. Wilmot waits underneath it. Zorko was clever with a handball. Back to Wilmot. They share it and it'll end with Levi Ashcroft.
And Will Ashcroft now down the line towards McInerney over the top. Trying to spoil was Bice in his first game. He did well in the next contest against Bailey. Ball spills to Rampy. Bice receives from Grundy, takes the kick on, finds the mark, finds Warner. He's got an option over the top. He'll use it. McInerney. Spates on the outside. They keep it inboard. Blakey, the lizard at full speed. Nice kick, cute kick. Oh, he dropped it to Heaney, no-look style. 20-metre pass. Heaney, don't waste time, Isaac. Don't go back and take your time. You haven't got time to use a 30-second shot clock. His teammate just advised him. What are you doing? Plays up towards goal and kick the bloody thing.
Get to the top of your mark. They need them on the runway.
There is 75 seconds left, Isaac. You've got to kick a goal here and set up a grandstand finish. Drop punts on the way from 40 outs. He's kicked it and kept the Grebe alive. Isaac Heaney had to get the heart rate down to make sure he can nail the set shot. And he gives the Swans a shot in the grand final rematch. 12-14-86 the Lions. 12-9-81 the Swans. 63 seconds left at the SCG.
Yeah, all players out on their feet, cramping everywhere throughout the ground. Usually players that cover the ground very well and not doing so at this time. 5 points the margin.
It comes down to the clearance game here, the congestion, who can get it out of the middle and drive it forward to give their team an opportunity. Play this last minute in your front half.
So 27-minute mark of the final term. Sydney have kicked 3 goals to 2 in this final term to just claw the margin back to 5 points for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy. Don't go anywhere. Lock that radio dial in. We've got 90 seconds to play. Warner burst out of the front. Neil caught in a good tackle. Airy coming through McInerney to Warner. Warner wants to handball. Spills backwards towards Campbell. Campbell around the body. Braden Campbell is right there. It'll be a minor score.
Oh, was it Malcheski or Braden Campbell? The left foot snap on the way.
Margin stands at 4 points. Triple M Beacon Trades scoreboard. 12-14-86 Brisbane to 12-10-82 Sydney.
4-point lead. They kick in short. It's picked off by the Swans. Oh, they lock it in there. Patley put his body on the line. Almost a head clash with Berry. And they get the stoppage. 40 seconds left. Trailing by 4 points the Swans.
You can see McInerney telling them all to empty out. They've just got to leave it just a couple of hit-twos, whether it's Papley and Heaney at the front of the stoppage.
So crunch time now. It is all or nothing. Heaney leaves it behind. Patley tries to burst through. Wilmot's been terrific in defence. Ashcroft, that's Levi, goes off the ground. Hipwood caught in a good tackle. Zach Bailey's kick forward this afternoon. Was that high? It was.
Chance
for the ball game right there. Logan Morris caught high.
He can take his time here, Snapper.
Free kick at half-back.
They've been wonderful, the Brisbane Lions.
So Morris, he gets 50. Was that some back chat? Or not standing the mark? Jake Lloyd, perhaps. The old stand rule might have got them down the stretch here. And that will be the ball game. It's too far away now for the Swans from their goal. So they're going to win the grand final rematch. The Brisbane Lions, Logan Morris saying to the umpires, that as far as you're giving me is about 80 from home. He takes some more time, pumps it into the pocket. The siren sounds. And the Brisbane Lions win the grand final rematch in an epic. Boos at the SCG for the late decisions, but the Lions win it by 4 points.
What a performance it was by the reigning Premier. Let's drop downstairs because the Ashcroft boys with Alistair Lynch, thanks to Fox Footy.
It was tight all day, but to snatch it late was very exciting.
Yeah, unbelievable. It was a great to have little bro with me this year, and we just we worked all pre-season. Obviously had to adapt with what happened last week with the cyclone and whatnot, but grateful to be here and had a good week this week, and grateful to get that win. That was pretty cool.
It's pretty exciting to have Levi next year. I mean, your last game was pretty exciting, premiership and a Norm Smith medal. I'm tipping this one was not far behind it.
Absolutely, it's very close, and he was unbelievable today. Came in and was expected to play his role, and I think he went above and beyond that. He was really, really good, so really proud of him. He's done a lot of work for it.
Tell us how you're feeling, Levi, at this stage.
It's an unbelievable feeling, obviously. First game, just to get a game, I was stoked. So happy to play alongside Will and all these boys in such a premiership side. It's such a great side, so absolutely loved it.
You like your old man, you know how many touches you have?
Oh, no idea. No.
You put on a Queen, you had 24. Tell us about what the coach say, because obviously late call up to go on to the ground from sub. What was the instructions from the coach for this big occasion?
He backed me in just to play my role, come in. Obviously Charlie went out late, which was disappointing for him, but I grabbed the opportunity with two hands, and I was just stoked to be able to play. Even as the sub would have been amazing, but to get on was great.
And what was the instruction from the coach? A bit rusty out of the blocks in the first quarter. At half-time, seemed to make some tweaks.
Just to keep the handball ratio and be a bit more composed. I think we only had 22 uncontested marks in the first half, so just trying to build the ball up a bit. It's tough conditions for it, but try and own the footy a bit more and just be more composed. Handball to kick ratio, and thought we did that and held on.
We probably should touch on one more important thing. Who would have been more nervous, mum or dad, in the grandstand?
Both very nervous, I'd say. A lot of excitement, but probably dad. He gets very nervous, but no, it was a good day for both of them, hopefully, and got the win, which is the main thing.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they were nervous at the start of the game. They'd be very proud with the way you both played today, so congratulations, well done.
We thank Will and Levi Ashcroft there, and Fox Footy Alistair Lynch. In the end, it was a 4-point win to Brisbane. We've got to get to a quick break. 12-10-82 Sydney, 12-14-86 Lions for McDonald's and Rim Hot Water.
Hope you enjoyed the game. And now the footy's finished, let's take you back to your regular radio station.